Hello, world. Welcome back to the land of dreams and nightmares. We are currently missing Nick. We don't know where he's at. So hopefully he'll jump in and join sometime pretty quickly here. But thank you all for joining with us, whether you're live or catching up later on. Let's introduce everyone, and then let's game.
Hi. Weird lag there for a second. Yeah, I'm Adam with the A name, and as always, I'm playing Carderock Hawkness, the noble knight-errant bard paladin multi-class thingamahooser.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Dennis, and as always, I'm playing Lykar, the level 11 Storm Sorcerer.
I am Vince, and I am playing Drake Fell, the Shadow Monk Cleric now.
I'm Warsor, and I'm playing Captain Noxiqual, the human Hexblade Warlock, level 11.
When we last visited with our characters, there was a great nightmare.
Indeed.
A nightmare that became so real that you were manifesting into what you all presume is the ruins of Rockness. There you were met with a tremendous adversary, Poxmarta, general of the undead armies, right hand of the Mer Queen, you could say. She had a number of other allies and minions in this battle, foremost of which being Ringulf Bracken, Death Knight, long survived champion of Rockness, who is out for blood revenge against Lykar. However, Lykar, in a moment of glory, was able to call upon Telvantis, Storm Titan. And the ensuing battle was probably short, if one was to have spectated it in the world, but went through many combatant turns for us here in the real world. But it was an intense display, and you were able to fell the Death Knight before Poxmarta called off the dream. And as you understand it, well, Death Knights, much like liches and vampires, they don't just fall down and stay down. So you're imagining he is going to resuscitate at some point. Let's see, you've all reawakened on your ships. You've actually joined up the two ships together, gotten yourselves joined up together on the Storm's Eye. There's a constellation of Illus the Lantern shining in the east, and you're approaching the mainland of Drekengrim.
Yes, and we're about to head up towards... Where is that thing?
I forget where on the ocean were we exactly?
You're
we
here.
were about to. Okay, yeah.
You're about to make port in Bliskmill, which is essentially Sumner Field. It's like the eastern.
I have one
villa
quick
of
question.
Sumner Field.
Right.
Before we hit landfall, will Drake be able to get a 4-hour rest in?
Yes.
Okay, then I'm not going to need to start burning any spells to heal him up. Because
Okay.
Am I to imagine a long rest after the whole events of the dream?
Well, you tell me. What are you all doing?
Well, Card didn't take the licking that Drake did, but, well, actually, almost as bad. Yeah, he's probably going to be just sort of lying around, possibly annoying Draco and or Robin with some idle cittern strumming, as he's probably writing a song about this whole event that's just occurred. And yeah, just sort of recovering his abilities and not going far out of his
Robin's no longer with us.
Sorry, not Robin.
It'd probably be Drake
Arlen?
now.
Drake and Arlen. I meant Arlen when I said Robin.
Mm-hmm. So, Noxiqual cast his dream spell like we discussed last session. And then I think he'd be working on his Warlock Fane.
You spoke with Dorian Keldon, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Archmage of Divination of the Silver Citadel.
Gave him a warning about what was going on with Pox Marta and all the trying to suck us through dreams.
Yes. And he had some bits of advice for you, and also a reminder that it would behoove the Stormbringers to not delay too much in your arrival to the Silver Citadel.
Of course. We're on our way even now.
And Arlen appears.
Sorry for being late.
I say, look at the catamount of dragged in.
All right. Slit his throat now.
So, sounds like Drake is going to find a quiet area.
Well, he's going to probably, unless there's anything the party as a whole needs to go over, he will probably head back to the ship that he was on, go back to his quarters, and just meditate to get his long rest in.
Okay. So you do that. You go to recover yourself from a near brush with death. And Carderock, you had posed the question of, should we wait out here and rest up properly, everyone, before?
Oh, well, I was mostly asking,
or
like,
laying
out of
through.
character, if we're going to have time just naturally to do that.
Do you want to do that?
He definitely, Card would like to do that, yes, if there is time.
You can certainly try to do that. Noxiqual's fine with pressing on. He doesn't really want to go back to sleep right now after that.
Yeah, well, I don't know if sleep, but like other, what is it, light activity that the book specifies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, things that don't constitute breaking a rest.
Okay, well, is this a point of importance to anyone? Does anyone have a strong opinion of why the party should not take an extended rest at this point?
Well, Lykar is pretty beat up, so.
Okay, so it seems the general consensus then is let's take the time and get some good rest. Now, Noxiqual had cautioned everyone against going back to sleep.
I mean, I don't think Pox Marta is going to try something again after she dismissed her ritual, and Dorian said that it cost her like resources and stuff to actually do that thing. So she's not going to just
seems
do
unlikely.
Yeah. That doesn't mean she couldn't send like something smaller to mess with us. Also, there was the child that got corrupted by the Mer Queen's touch. I told Dorian about her.
Yes.
So that he could
the
find
first
her.
The first dream sequence, you saw the young mermaid in the watery dungeon shaft, and again that wizardly fellow trying to reach out to her through the mists, but not achieving it. Always just a bit outside of each other's grasp.
Yeah,
so you all settle in. You all settle into a wary rest, and unless you are fighting off lethargy, you will probably be pulled back into the grips of sleep as you're very fatigued. Some of you are quite wounded and even a bit energy drained from spectral touches.
No, I think
Yes, what is this?
Yeah, I said unless we have something else to do, I think it's a good idea to rest because I'm about half dead.
Okay.
Who all is sleeping here? Lykar, Carderock?
Drake will do his usual long rest.
Drake's meditating. Noxiqual?
Since everyone else is like going to bed, I guess.
Okay, Arlen?
I was gonna work on my Fane, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess if everyone else is also doing it, I'll also go to sleep as well.
I don't think Carl will sleep if he can, gain the benefits of a long rest without actually sleeping, just because, last time he went to sleep, that wasn't so great.
Hmm.
He might not do it for a little while.
You are trying to keep yourself awake?
Yeah. Not
Yeah.
like straining himself to do so, but definitely not trying to fall asleep.
Make a constitution check.
All right. Well, that's got to be pretty good. There's an 18 on the die. His constitution is a plus nothing, though, so it's an 18.
18? Okay. So you, ever wary Carderock, are not letting yourself fall back asleep. You are resting and recuperating, but you are not actually falling unconscious. Drake, you meditate in a wood elven fashion. Arlen, you're high elf, correct?
I'm a human.
Are you a human? Oh,
Yeah.
I'll have to change the little note in the video description later. Okay. Noxiqual, Lykar, and Arlen, you all fall asleep. And from the depths of dark slumber comes a face. Milk white, hair in tendrils, ghostly tendrils, eyes pale, tears of blood, and moth-like creatures whose central forms are actually eyeballs fluttering about her. Her voice is like vipers slithering in your mind and biting at you with psychic poison. We'll go in order here. Noxiqual, make a wisdom saving throw.
So she wants more Talvantis, huh? All right. Let's see. Wisdom. We got a 10. I'm guessing I take some psychic damage.
That is definitely a fail. Let's go to Lykar.
Okay. Wisdom, which is plus nothing. So that's 18.
18.
Yep.
Where is my... One moment.
Please wait.
18 is not enough. Arlen.
18 is not enough?
18
Oh,
is
man.
not enough.
I'm probably not going to pass. I'm proficient in the saving throw, but not good at wisdom.
Nope. A plus 4.
Nope, I got like a 6.
Damn. Oh, well.
You have come into a realm which you do not understand. If you would know, come with me. She extends her hand. Does anyone take it?
Do I have all my equipment?
You appear to.
Okay. I do
We
not
all-
cut off her hand, as was my first inclination.
Okay. Noxiqual, you draw your blade.
I said I do not. I said do not. Do not.
You do not. Oh.
Yes. I was saying I do not do that.
Does anyone else do or not do anything?
I'm going to turn away from her and just walk off.
Kind of feel like we all like collectively either do or don't do something at this very moment.
Yeah, Arlen, after seeing what happened last time, probably is not going to do anything either. Probably will just sort of walk away as well.
Lykar?
Yeah, I'm not taking her hand away.
Mm-hmm. You're each experiencing this simultaneously. You do not walk away from me. You do not defy the power of Amarantha. The grasp of Poxmartyr reaches around your throat, and you feel that pain within your head. You all three awaken, each suffering 10 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
And you are unable to have this rest.
Quick question. I forgot, is Drake okay? Because
Drake
He's
did not
meditating.
experience it.
Oh, Drake didn't experience this. Oh, sorry.
He
I-
did
Yeah.
not experience it.
Elven meditation is different than dreams, so which is really weird that I got pulled into that dream.
Yeah, there was clearly something much more powerful in that first thing.
Yeah.
So you're
I'm-
also cleric of a dream god.
yeah, which I'm guessing is probably giving me some protection against her. But I'm also guessing if she wants to do that to Drake, it would have to be specifically targeted at him. At this point.
Okay, the three of you all each in your own personal quarters awaken from this nightmare with her voice slithering inside of your mind, and you just cannot find rest.
Did we see each other in that nightmare?
You did not.
We not okay. Arlen will get up and go over to the captain's quarters. Unless I can get rest now, or is that not a?
You will find no rest this day.
I'll find no rest. Okay.
So you just suffered. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Arlen would most likely go to the captain's quarters then to explain that this happened again. Basically.
You reach the door of Captain Noxiqual's personal chambers. It's a nice, heavy, fortified door. Maybe it has some extra stylization to it nowadays.
Arlen would actually take a second probably and take a look at it and sort of like just sort of inspect it a little bit, look over it, and then sort of realize that, oh, wasting a bit of time here, probably need to actually go in and then knock on the door.
I feel like the door definitely has patterns cut into it, possibly in primordial script or something along those lines.
Ooh, oh no, Arlen doesn't speak primordial. I speak other things.
Yeah. There may be
I do.
primordial, there may be some infernal.
Oh, I do speak infernal, so I could probably understand a little bit of it. But yeah, after I'll definitely take a look at it and sort of just like see what's going on a little bit, and then eventually knock on the door.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So I feel like Captain Knox would have been awake by now, because once he woke up with the psychic damage, he would have gone back to doing his feign, like realizing that I have the same spell that basically attacked me, so I feel like I know what a nightmare, a dream nightmare attack would be like. So she said I don't understand it, but I feel like Noxiqual might actually understand what's going on. So anyways, I come over to the door and I say, "Who is it?"
Oh, Captain, it's Arlen. I thought I should discuss something with you.
I see. I'll open up the door and let him in if he comes in.
Yeah, I would come in. And I'd probably close the door, and Arlen might be a little suspicious because this hasn't happened to Arlen until he came onto the crew. So he'd probably like look around a little bit, make sure like no one else is in the room or listening or things of that nature.
Find no one else. There may be something else in here with us.
I have a question, if I may interject. You've opened the door to him. Can we get a little glimpse as to what your personal quarters are looking like nowadays?
Yeah. As usual, the place is very dark. There's shadows everywhere that you look. You can't see unless you have dark vision. But there is a candle which is lit, hanging from the ceiling and swings back and forth, casting shadows. The bed, is basically, it looks like it was just recently slept in. There is a entire section of the wall that basically has the armor when he's not wearing it, kind of like set in almost a shrine-like thing. Like the helmet is kind of forced, like in the center. The breastplate and stuff is like right underneath it, and so on and so forth. And surrounding that, I would say like there's a mirror kind of on the back of that, which is just like pitch black. Yeah, other than that, it's like the carpet is very red because it came that way. Totally.
Dark red?
Yeah, dark red. Yeah, totally.
So you said that it's dark where people without dark vision can't see. Would I be able to see you, or like what all can I see? Because I do not have dark vision.
There's a candle, so you can see very, very minimal. Like
Okay.
it's very dark. You're inside a ship, so like without the lights from the outside, once you close the door, you're pretty much just getting the swinging light effect in the center of the room.
Okay.
The room is very disorienting, I imagine, for Arlen.
Yeah, definitely.
A maw of blackness with a swinging light, maybe just lining one side of the captain's face. And there might be a smell in here as well, like candles or incense or alchemical reagents.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You know magic when you see it, Arlen, and this is a magical chamber.
A little hint of undeath, too, because Harkareth has been in here.
Yeah, the undeath would be very common to me. I would definitely know that smell. Okay, but I guess after like looking around and sort of getting my bearings, making sure, and when I say no one else is around and you ask me what exactly do you mean, I guess I mean just like crew members, things of that nature. That's sort of what I'm maybe looking out for a little bit, because Arlen okay. I'll look up to the captain and say, Captain, I experienced another one of those nightmare dreams again with the Lich, I believe. I don't know. I thought that it would be important to reveal this information to you.
I had a similar awakening not long ago. She is attacking us through our dreams. So we must find a place that is warded against her being able to cast that. The Silver Citadel is one such place, and where we are headed now is another, I believe.
I actually, one second, let me check something real quick, Esper. I might actually have a way of warding against it.
Okay.
I don't know if... Oh, I can't pull it. Where? Oh, no, I changed my computer, so I don't have my... Oh, man. Okay, one second. Let me look up
While you're looking that up, I'll say also, once my feign is complete, I may be able to also offer some protection to those who sleep aboard my ship.
How far along is your Warlock feign here?
Well, I think you said it would take like, let's see.
I will respond to the captain and say, perhaps I can help slightly. And I don't know how to explain this properly through our roleplay, but I have the spell Leomon's Tiny Hut, which allows us to be barred from spells and magical effects for 8 hours.
Really?
You certainly do. Though, tell me, Wizard, is it something that has to be on stationary ground?
It says a 10-foot radius. I'll just read the spell so that we can.
It's like an immobile thing.
It says a mobile dome of force springs into existence around and above you and remains stationary for the duration.
I think this ship would just keep sailing while this stationary
Yep.
magic bubble would stay there.
Okay, then I guess I'll explain that, Captain. I do know some knowledge of spellcraft, as you well know, and I think that I have a spell that could help us, but it will only work if we are on stationary ground.
On land, you're saying? Yes. Well, we can certainly attempt that when we get to our destination, and it won't be long before we make our pass of the town of Sumnerfield.
Okay. I'll sort of like nod my head and say, all right, but and I definitely look kind of tired at this point, and still hurt from what happened before. I'd say, if possible, I would like to get to rest soon, though. I'm not feeling very good right now.
Indeed. Well, I'll make sure that we put into port as soon as we can.
All right, I'll nod my head and then turn away to walk out of your quarters.
All right.
Maybe stumbling a little bit too, because I can't see very well. So like sort of trying to find like the door.
Okay, so Arlen leaves And Nox, how far along are you with constructing the Warlock's Fane here?
I feel about 5 days approximately. I can't really remember exactly.
Okay, you're about halfway through. And how
Yeah.
much have you consumed in magical reagents?
Well, I mean, I gave like what did I put down for this? 10,000.
Have you you've already put down 1,000?
10,000.
10,000? Okay. So it's simply a matter of completing the ritual, we'll say. Excellent. So does anyone else have anything further before we get into Bliskmill?
Do we get so we get no rest, like no short rest either?
Correct.
Okay.
Drake gets a long rest.
That's what's hard.
The mirror I was referring to would be made of onyx.
Oh man, I gotta get on this. Okay.
All right. The ship is pulling into Bliskmill here after just a few hours. It's a small port town, which is part of the Sumnerfield city here, just east of the city proper. There is the typical round of customs as the ship comes in. Noxiqual is a known captain here. You are regarded by the wharf master with a bit of caution, as in he seems a bit careful with his words and his actions around you. He goes through his formalities. He gives you, like a typical parchment for a ship's manifest, but doesn't go so far to prod you to be meticulous in your official declarations.
I'll give him the general goods that I'm carrying, which I have 2,000 gold worth of supplies, which I'm ferrying upriver, probably to that halfling town further upriver.
Mm-hmm.
The one on the way to the Devil's Den, you remember?
Tarot Town.
Yes, Tarot Town.
Oh, Tarot Town, yeah.
The wharf master says, "There's talk of problems. Have been talk of many problems in Tarot Town for some time now. It seems there was a rebellion against Countess Sama.
Oh, yes. What happened?
There was an uprising. This was months ago, but I've been hearing rumors trickling in ever since then. I believe she's been deposed."
Oh, interesting. Who rules there now?
That is matter of debate. I was hoping if you would go there, you could give us word on your way back.
Well, I may not be coming back this way for a time, but I can certainly make it known what I find out for the right price.
What do you speak of exactly? Do you have a avian messenger you can send?
Oh, I have magical means at my disposal which can deliver a message.
He you see that little nervous twitch in his eye when you say that. I thought you might say so. Maybe it would be best if you just relay it to me on your way back when you do come.
Suit yourself. I assume our arrangement will be the same on the way back then.
A bit of news is always welcome, and I'll see what I can do to repay you for this service.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear.
You're free to go. May you find fortune and success with your mercantile.
Before we go, we will be spending a short rest period just here, just outside, nothing serious. Just a couple of my men need some shore leave, you understand?
Naturally.
Very good.
He gives you some other pleasantries, asking if you need any servants or couriers or anything of the like.
Can't think of anything like that, so no.
All right, all you are back on land. What are you doing?
So Card, as soon as possible, will have disembarked and made a beeline to the nearest, nearest public house or nearest anywhere there might be news. Actually, he's probably, I don't know if they're actually going to Summerfield proper or if they're staying in Bliskmill, but he's going to be looking for news about his family. See what they're up
Before you
to.
go running off, I'd stop you and I'd say, last night, after we escaped from Pax Marta, those who tried to sleep again were assaulted by Pax Marta further in a nightmare. She would not let us gain rest or recover from the damage that she had done. So I suggest that we take Arlen here up on his offer, which I will let him explain.
Oh, is that so? I was merely planning to avoid sleeping for a few. Oh, sorry, what was that?
Arlen will walk up a little bit awkwardly, and then sort of say, yes, as the captain explained, I have a spell that I think can protect us from the Lich's powers.
Is that so?
Yes, I wasn't able to use it on the ship as it's a stationary protective dome, but I believe that on land it should work. It should give us a good 8 hours of rest.
Ooh, a protective dome. Well, aren't you... Yes, I'm listening.
I say, yes, I've learned many spells in my time. I believe this one should work if you're comfortable with using it with me. Only 9 of us can. Actually, I think it's 9. Let me check to be sure. I think it's only 9 people can enter at the same time. So only 9 people can enter at the same time, though.
Well, I don't think anyone else on the ship was suffering the nightmares because she has to target people,
Right.
and she seems to be focused on us.
Mhm.
So
There was some word amongst your crew that they were having bad dreams and fitful sleep, but no one was supernaturally assaulted like you all were.
makes sense. They got the backlash psychically.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, a quick question, by the way. When we're walking on, because this is important probably for Drake as well, is my zombie, or I believe it was a zombie. I don't remember if it was a skeleton. I think it was a skeleton. My skeleton, is it still invisible?
We put it down in the hold, and we have.
How long does that spell last?
Animate dead. It lasts as long as I'm casting it on him, which I would be. So.
Oh, okay.
You can cast it every day to reassert your control for 24 hours.
Exactly. Which I haven't been saying that, but I think it's assumed that I'm doing that.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, if we're going onto land, maybe we could have to roll back it a bit, but I would have wanted to bring the skeleton with me just in case. Unless we're going into like a city or a town. Are we going into a city or a town?
We're going into a city or a town.
Oh yeah. Okay. Never mind then.
Yep.
It will stay in the brig.
So I was kind of curious. I'm like, I think you want to leave that on board.
Yeah. Sorry. Never mind. Yeah. If we're going into the city or town,
it's okay. We can always get it if we need it. But yeah, I'm going to suggest we all make our way. Can this spell be cast indoors, or does it have to be outdoors?
I believe so. It just says a 10-foot
anywhere. Yeah.
10-foot radius immobile. So as long as we have 10-foot radius immobile.
What I would like to do then, Esper, is go into town, find a nice establishment, not just some crappy tavern, or inn where, they'll let the drunks sleep for, a couple of copper.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to buy good rooms, high quality beds, high quality rooms, and we will get ourselves one room, large room though, which could, sleep 5 or so people.
Very well. Okay.
We'll pay.
So you go into the noble wing of Bliskmill here, and you go to the inn that's available there. You each pay, maybe a gold piece or 2, and you're furnished with a lavish suite that you all can stay in for a day.
Perfect. I front the cost for that, and then let Arlen cast his spell so we can all. Probably we're all tired. We haven't slept fitfully. Like we may have caught an hour sleep or so, but it's not good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep, the only one
Eric's going to
who-
go out exploring because he's
Yeah.
perfectly fine.
Yeah. Oddly enough, the only one who's well rested is the elf that nearly died.
Yeah, actually, as
You're
I guess
coming
like
with-
yeah,
Wait, what?
when Drake does begin to like sort of walk away, Arlen would actually go up to the captain and say, "Captain, is he not coming with us?"
I look at Drake. Drake, are you coming with us?
This one is doing. Oh, shit, I just went back to that. Oh my god. Oh my god, I can't believe I did that. I am doing well. I was able to get a long rest in after whatever that was. I would like to go and get some supplies for myself if possible.
It's quite all right, Drake. You must not have to deny your own nature. That's what someone told me once. I think it's a piece of wisdom or something.
Indeed. Well, if you get into any trouble, Drake, make sure to let us know. I would hate to have to find out about it afterward.
I'm not planning on getting into any trouble at all if possible.
All right, well, we'll see you in the morning then,
Very well.
or the afternoon, whatever. You know, we might be sleeping in the morning. We're going to sleep whenever we feel like it.
It's probably noon at this point.
So we'll wake
Okay.
up and we'll go sailing at night.
All right, so Drake, you go off to do something on your own. Arlen, you're casting Lemon's tiny hut.
Yep. And
he's
I will
trying to
be I will be casting it as a ritual. So
Okay.
it will take about 10 minutes to set everything up.
Excellent. You spend your time. You cast that. You make an opaque dome of force that you and your allies go into, and you're all quite tired.
Yep.
And you, in short measure, are slipping away into slumber. The nightmare
I look
repeats.
after. The nightmare repeats, you
The
said?
nightmare repeats.
Okay. So we're facing
Even those spells and magical effects cannot extend through it or be cast through it.
clearly there's something else going on.
So we'll get to that in a second, but first we need to get to again another round of wisdom saving throws.
Yeah, agreed.
Oh my god.
Noxiqual.
All right. Just a 10 again, unfortunately.
Carderock.
19.
I actually got a very good roll this time.
Lykar, don't forget you have the inspiration this session. If you want it.
Yeah, I got a 19, so
I got a 23 actually.
Lykar and Carderock, you are not quite able to resist the throes of the nightmare in Poxmarta's poisonous whispers. Arlen, however, you are able to see your way through it. Do you do anything in particular in this dream to Poxmarta?
I didn't think I was gonna pass, so I didn't think I was gonna need to do anything. I think actually, so I'm like getting through the dream, like I'm gonna be able to like rest well and whatnot. I guess I would just sort of look at her and say, "Your powers aren't all that great. I'm sure that I could figure out how all this works with time."
My powers are exactly what you seek. But she fades away. Captain Noxiqual, Carderock, and Lykar, you each suffer 13 points of psychic damage.
Oof.
Now, question, Esper,
And you
do
do not find rest.
I get a long rest here?
You do. I mean, they wake up before you, and you all see Arlen sleeping relatively peacefully.
All right, I'm gonna get my spell slots back.
Can I take a short rest after we wake up? I mean, obviously we haven't slept well, but short rests I feel like you can do while awake.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is true. It's just preventing you from sleeping.
Okay, so when Card was not sleeping on the ship earlier, he did not get a long rest.
I believe Card already completed a long rest.
Oh, he did. Okay, cool.
Because you, well, no, you didn't sleep.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, you didn't
really...
sleep, so you didn't go into the nightmare, but you also didn't complete a long rest.
Right, but I guess he completed a short rest then, and then another one now. Okay.
Yes.
Not sleeping has its detriments over time,
Mhm.
but aside from all that, while I'm short resting, I'm going to dig into my reserves a little bit and spend some hit dice to try and just get my hit points higher, even though it's draining my total hit dice. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Anyone else spending hit dice?
Is it okay if I just roll those right now?
Go for it.
Thank you.
Let's go to Drake. Drake, you have stepped out of the inn.
Mhm.
You are in a noble neighborhood. You're seeing houses that are not packed in together side by side, but actually have a bit of breathing room. A bit of lawns. The grass is not growing yet. It's still winter, so they're dry lawns. But it's a nice, well-kept area, orderly. You do see some watchmen on patrol. Beyond this district, there are some other not quite so noble wings of Bliskmill. All in all, it's not a large settlement. It's a small town, you'd say.
Okay. I know Drake would definitely check out, see if there's a blacksmith in town.
There most certainly is a blacksmith.
All right.
He is on the northern edge of town. So you go strolling through the streets, you see a number of people, you get a number of different looks. Not many people see a wood elf, nor a whatever your garb is sure.
Well,
sure
right now
different.
it'd probably be just the winter cloaks on.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you just wearing like the what was that called?
Well, it was the winter wolf cloaks is what he got for everybody.
There we go. Winter.
Other than Arlen doesn't have one.
There you go. So while you've got this snowy white wolf fur cloak on, everyone else is wearing, the typical wools and such of Drekins. No one says anything to you. You just get a lot of looks. There's puffs of smoke coming out of most chimneys. The buildings get a bit older, a little more worn, a little more stacked up in terms of their height and closer together. On the northern edge of town, there is a blacksmith. You can hear the clangs of metal upon metal through just like this open door, and you see a guy walking out, a tall man clad in furs. And he looks like he's getting like a big, nice armful of firewood. Can I help you?
Yes, I was hoping I might be able to order a few things from you.
Order.
I'm looking for
down. About how tall are you, would you say?
Oh, Jesus. What did I put Drake's height at?
I mean, are you average height, a little short?
He's 5'4".
5'4". Okay, so a little on the short side. This guy's pretty big. He's like at least a foot taller than you. What sort of thing do you have in mind? I'm a bit busy.
Is looking to get a few daggers and some, if possible, ball bearings.
Daggers. I have daggers you can buy. What was the other thing now?
Ball bearings.
Ball of bearing?
Small beads of sorts, made of metal.
Metal beads? Are you confusing me for some sort of jeweler?
No, I need them specifically forged to a certain size.
Are you a fisherman from a faraway land?
I am not.
Sinkers?
Similar, but no. I need to be able to toss them onto the floor to use as a way to slow down creatures that are chasing me.
Nah. That would be a nasty trick. Why would you want to do that to someone?
Not to someone, just in defense if need be.
You're not one of those burglars, are you?
I am not.
He gives you a nice scrutinizing up and down. I don't want my name getting sullied with whatever it is I'm crafting for you.
You will not have to worry of that.
You have a strange air about you. Where are you from?
I am not from far away. I'm a monk in travel. I serve Dionysus, and I come from the Thunder. Shoot, I don't have that.
Thunderwave Temple.
Underwave Temple. I thought I had that. Thunderwave Temple.
Is that in Iskadam?
It's not Escadam, is it? No, it's I'm trying to pull up what I had.
Bazagon.
Bazagon. I can't find my page now that I had it all saved on, which is bugging the crap out of me.
Bazagon. I thought that was just an old wives' tale. It really exists?
It does.
Are you a man of the mazes?
I am not. I serve Dionysus specifically.
Dionysus in Bazagon? Wait. Are you speaking of Cord?
Is that? I don't think so. Let's see if I can find it.
I want to remind you of things, but
No, I'm not done.
What's on with you? Are you drunk?
You know what? While he's looking it up, funny thing. So Arlen is still sleeping when you guys woke up. Even if you guys wanted to leave, you couldn't actually leave the hut because it doesn't let anyone leave. I was thinking about that. So you guys are stuck in there until I finished my.
It doesn't allow creatures you designate to come and go.
I don't think so. It says,
what I would say, instead of stalling Drake out, just improvise whatever the first thing off the top of your head is.
I would not say so. Drake would not believe Dionysus is the same as the Court, because that doesn't sound right.
A lot of things don't sound right that are coming out of your mouth. Are you sure you're not a burglar?
I give you my word.
What good is your word? I hardly met you.
My name is Drake Fell. I am the father of Dionysus.
Drake fell, like out of the sky?
No. Though, if you ask several of the monks of where I've come from and other priests, they would say I did fall out of the sky. Or constantly fall on something else.
I heard of a man once who thought he could fly. He jumped off of a mountain cliff. Now he's a splatter, frozen up north by Mount Drecken. You can find his guts forever icy there on the foothills of the mountain. You don't want to end up like him now, do you?
I do not.
Daggers, you said? I've got daggers. How many do you want?
Just 2 or 3.
That's all. Okay. 3 gold pieces, and they're yours.
Thank you.
Come on. Would you mind giving me a hand with this firewood here?
How much do you need to get inside?
As much as you can carry.
Drake's just going to start pushing it into a bag of holding. And then once he's got pretty much all the firewood put in the bag of holding, he's going to follow him in.
The guy walks inside into the workroom. There's a boy in there. You would assume an apprentice who is doing some work and tidying things up a bit. The guy sets the firewood onto a rack. The boy takes some of it and starts feeding it into a furnace. You didn't bring any.
Drake's going to open the bag and start pulling out the firewood.
Oh, what is that?
That is my bag of holding.
What sorcery is this?
his bag of burglaring.
I just don't want to say that. It is a magical bag that lets me hold many items.
The man looks over to the apprentice. Fielton, come look at this. He's got a magic bag. What is this?
And Drake's just gonna keep pulling the wood out.
The apprentice boy like looks down at a different angle and kind of like walks around you to. I've seen magicians perform before, but never anything like that. Where did you get that bag? Can I get one?
You would have to buy it from a mage, most likely.
Can you command creatures to go into the bag?
I cannot.
I heard of a wandering soldier once who had a magic bag, and anything he commanded would be sucked into it.
I have never heard of that story.
Yes, he went to the ruins of that one place, and there were devils there, and he commanded them all into the bag, and he sucked them all in.
That is most impressive, but that does not sound as of a bag of holding. It sounds of something else.
I don't know. Surprised you've never heard the story. He's not from here. He claims to be from Bazagon. What's Bazagon? It's just a land far away from here. How did you get through the mist?
I didn't make it completely all the way before my ship was wrecked and it was rescued.
Where did your ship wreck at?
Down south. Can you pull up the map? I can't remember the island's name.
Close to Dusk Isle?
Was it Dusk Isle? Yeah.
These two are so interested in you, Drake. Like,
I know. I could start. I probably could convince them to join. Start following Diagnosis.
Here comes your
one. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, we were by Dusk Isle. It's like near Dusk Isle.
Dusk Isle. I've heard that's a rough place.
It is, and it's even more dangerous of late.
Yeah, it's the whole island is a haunted forest, isn't it?
I believe it is of now.
I get the sense that you have many strange tales, traveler.
That I do.
Would you like some lunch?
I'll be graciously grateful to sit with you and dine and share stories.
Stories always make me hungry. Come. Yeltor, get 3 daggers for this man. Do I call you man? You're an elf.
You may call me Drake.
Get 3 daggers for this Drake. So he brings you inside. He has a wife and 4 other children of various ages. They all look to be pretty big and hearty kids. The wife is nursing a babe. And there's just like this big meal of like bread and pork and porridge and beer and such. And they just like heap on a bunch of it for you. And everyone is like gathered around listening to you.
He will probably.
How did your ship wreck at Dusk Isle or by Dusk Isle?
The ship was set upon by the Deep One.
The Deep Drinker?
Yes. I was lucky to survive.
There are foul things that dwell in the mists. Deep old things. One time, I made an offering to the Deep Drinker at a fountain, and my wish came true.
I would be careful of that. Many
he turned
times.
me into a dragon for a night.
Dragon, interesting.
What kind of dragon did he turn you into? Did you have wings? No. A dragon with no wings? Did you have a tail? No. What kind of dragon is this that has no wings and no tail? Did you have a breath? I had slime. You were not turned into a dragon. You were turned into a frog. I was a dragon. I was a slime dragon. It was a frog.
That does sound of a frog.
You survived an attack by Deep Drinker himself.
Yes.
But you lived to tell the tale. You did not die. You were not eaten. You were not drowned. You made it to the land.
I was saved by another being.
Another being?
I'm not sure what else I would call him. He is a very powerful entity, I guess.
A god?
I'm not sure if he wishes to be a god or is a god.
What is his name?
He calls himself the Masked One.
Masked One. Never heard of him, but there are many.
I'd never heard of him until I
around
met
these
him
spots.
either. I am not sure what to make of him, but he gave me a deal, saved me, and I helped my current captain out on his quest, and I am doing my best to uphold that deal.
You should be careful who it is you make deals with.
Yes, I have learned that, and I am making sure I don't make any more such deals if I can.
Yes. Oh, look here now. Berries and buttercream. Yeah. Heap it on thick, honey. She serves up this rather thick and hearty dessert, and he proceeds to stuff his face along with all the runts here.
Drake's
You
also going
want
to get
another beer?
this one will, and if possible, some raw meat from my bird.
You have a bird too? Is it in your bag?
The bird is probably still sitting on his shoulder. Drake always has it on his shoulder.
Do you let the little kids play with the bird?
As long as they're gentle, as long as they're not trying to grab it and just softly petting, Jake will have no problem with it.
Oh, yeah. They pet it and they seem endlessly fascinated with feeding it.
Don't feed him too much. I don't need him fat.
His wife, Esmeralda, says that she is going to call some friends over. I need to go tell the
Oh, God.
the Bucklands. They were going to want to meet this one. I can't believe it.
Oh, my gosh. Drake might be stuck in town.
Well, she's going to like fetch a couple neighbor families.
I know, but what I mean by like, Drake might not be able to ever leave. They're going to keep wanting him to stay to tell stories.
Yes, that's exactly correct. Do you entertain them?
Drake will entertain them for about another hour or two before he will try to find a way to get out of there without needing the shadow step.
It's getting late. You can stay here. Yes. Put a fur down by the fire.
No, this one I must be getting back. My captain will most likely be returning to his ship as well soon. I only left to purchase a few things before I went back.
You have 3 daggers now. The ball bearings, he's going to look into that. Can you give him some time?
Yeah. Well, I don't think we're leaving until the next day. But if he can't get it done before we leave, it's not a worry.
Well, it's just that I've never made metal balls before. I'll do my best.
Well, I am very grateful, even if you're unable to.
Check with me on the morrow, Drake.
Drake's also going to leave a couple silver behind as thanks for the meal.
They are very gracious and grateful for that. Can I have one? Can I have one? Says like a 3-year-old kid.
Drake's not going to give him anything silver.
Does your bird have any eggs?
He would not. Or actually, no, she would not.
Okay, let's go back to the rest of the party.
Yeah.
Noxiqual, Lykar, and Carderock, you've awakened. Arlen is still asleep, though. The nightmare persists.
In my head, I feel like I just kind of sit there and like recover for an hour, short resting. It takes a lot out of me. Like I used up a lot of my hit dice to like recover from this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's drained me, but I'm feeling like I can go on.
Yeah. You give it a quick test, and indeed, those who were inside the dome when he cast it can move back and forth freely.
Mhm.
You
All right,
let
so we
Arlen,
put
you just
some
let
warm
Arlen
water.
sleep.
We put his fingers in warm water, guys. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. Well, the three
No,
of you are like exhausted.
Ard,
So are you
muted.
just there like, and every once in a while you drift off, and the nightmare wakes you back up? What are you doing?
I think
Card,
I'd
you're,
stay.
Card, you're muted.
Card wakes up and figures that, well, bollocks to this sorry sleeping business if I'm going to keep. Yeah. And he's going to wake up, stand up, and just make his way off into the center of town. This is
Very well.
near enough his hometown. He probably has, some acquaintances nearby, or at least can find news of his family and their masonry projects.
Most definitely. I think properly you're from inside of Sumnerfield City,
Right.
but these are still your stomping grounds, in a manner of speaking.
I thought they couldn't leave the tiny hut.
Anybody who is in it, when you
Yeah,
cast
they
it,
can. Yeah,
can move freely through it.
yeah. I
Okay.
did. Yeah, I reread it to make sure of that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Gosh, read your spells.
Can't you like memorize all 40 of your spells already? God.
Exactly.
Noxiqual, Carderock, and Lykar, why don't each of you make Constitution saving throws, and we'll see if you have any exhaustion.
Oh boy.
Okay.
All right. I got a 19. I assume
got
that's
a
probably a good roll for the session.
16.
Okay. No one has any actual exhaustion effects, though you are tired, and you can role play that as you see fit. Carderock, you go into, or I guess you go out of the inn. You are in Bliskmill. It's an afternoon. The day itself is fairly pleasant. The sun is shining. It's not quite so bitterly cold. Hints of spring are in the air. The town is going about its way. It's a fairly active town here, part of the major commercial and agricultural center of Dreckengrim. You heading anywhere in particular?
Well, I don't suppose he notices Drake in passing.
You do not. It seems Drake has made off before you.
All right, then he'll probably turn a corner and head in the direction of the Cornerstone, which is a tavern in town that's frequented by stonemasons and similar sorts.
Excellent. You make your way into Cornerstone Tavern. You look around. There's a familiar face in there to you, Eleanor. She has been working here as proprietor for decades. She's in her 70s now. Her husband has passed. He also was the co-owner with her when he was around. You've pretty much known her since you were a boy. She knows how to read. She loves books. She's a bit vain. Yeah, she has a tendency to be a little bit have a high opinion of herself. And her hair looks like a bird's nest.
Well, Eleanor, aren't you a sight for sore eyes? Tell me, what do your words on scrolls tell you today? I'm back in town, yeah.
Carderock Harkness. I thought that was you. Oh, everything is the same as always in Bliskmill. Nothing ever happens around here.
Well, I knew it was.
Aren't you going to give me a kiss? Come on. Where are your manners?
Oh, yes, of course. And he probably inwardly cringes a little bit. Not because of her age, but just because of, the dynamic of having probably known her since he was, younger than this.
Where do you kiss her? A cheek, hand, lips?
I think the hand seems the most, knightly. He'll go with that. She'll probably seek cheek, but he'll go hand. That seems.
When did you turn into a proper gentleman?
When I was knighted thereabouts. I am a knight, you know.
You're a knight now. You don't say. You're the funniest knight that ever existed. Then I thought knights were all dour types.
Oh, only the boring ones.
Oh
And
well,
the
you wouldn't.
boorish ones.
Yeah, well,
And
you
one that
wouldn't
was an
do that.
actual bore.
Well, I'm even happier now because I can say that there's a knight that I've personally spanked. Oh, your little cheekies were always so rosy red.
Quiet, you.
Well, no one else is going to laugh about it but me at this hour. You see like a couple guys that are like, deep into their trenchers and their ales and such, and they're paying her no mind.
So, what news have you of, well, lands around here?
Oh, well, there's always talk of dangers in the north and dwarves and ghouls, but I just stay here. I think it's rather peaceful. I think everyone makes a big huff and puff over things that who can say ghouls.
And the old man?
The old man, you didn't know.
That's Galrock Hawkness. He's talking about his father.
Your old man, of course. He's been having a bit of trouble. The building project, the castle project, it's not moving along, but he's always been soured about that. I can't remember a time that he wasn't.
You do know they take...
Have you found fortune in your travels? And maybe you can get the project started up.
Ha! Fortune. To call what I have found fortune is to call...
She hands you a cup, by the way.
To call what I have found fortune is to call a chance copper found on the street a pittance. To call what I have found fortune is to undervalue the treasuries of kings. To call what I have found fit for a king, why, that is to flatter kings.
It seems all the poetry that I taught you when you were a lad is doing you well. Should I send word to your father that the prodigal son has returned?
So out of character, how long are we really planning to be in town? It's like a day, maybe, right?
You might want to ask Captain Knox about that.
Well, so did we not talk about this before? I guess maybe we didn't.
No one has talked to me about any of that. They're just assuming.
Fair. Yes. Why, of course. Yes. Why not? I have returned, have I not?
I'll let him know. You haven't happened to have found any gold, diamonds, perhaps a group of extremely cheap laborers?
Oh, I have stumbled upon an old coin or two, and, well... His mind wanders for a second to images of Noxiqual and Arlen standing at the head of a column of, zombies and skeletons with those things strapped to their heads to help them carry heavy stones. Before sort of scratching himself pensively a little bit.
Are you wanting to use my undead to do menial tasks like this?
Semi-devoted to a god, even if it's a god of dreams and not a god of anti-undeath. Hither and thither I've been. I've found a coin or two. I've met a man or two. Surely, he lets himself trail off. Lets the thought just kind of end there.
Well, I have a feeling that you've got more than you're letting on. Look at you. You're growing up so much. At this rate, you might be the next in line to be my suitor.
growing. Card is like, I think I said 32.
You're still just a boy, a lad.
Oh, only at heart, and in my roguish looks.
I do hope you stay around. How long will you be in town for?
As long as I should require, of course. And he, of course, mentally has noted to go back and find out, or talk to, at very least, Noxiqual, Lykar, and Drake, and like figure out what's reasonably feasible, because he probably figures he's only there for like a couple of days, possibly even a single day.
Mm-hmm. So it would seem that your father is still on some, you wouldn't say hard times, but he's certainly not rolling in piles of gold coins.
Right.
And the grand dream of the Hawkness keep the proper castle to your family is still no closer to being realized.
Right, which now that he does have some decent money, he there should be some perhaps out of character way of like starting to figure out how he wants to do that. But yeah, I think now that he has money, he's going to start like trying to divert some towards that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, do you have further interest in the tavern here?
Not exceptionally, unless there's somebody there who otherwise wants to talk to him.
Eleanor is feeding you and giving you drink and chatting with you. She's very, very chatty. The two men that were eating there, they finish up and they leave. They don't even, pay any mind to the knight that's there. They just look like, some guys that are grumpily going back to doing some job that they probably hate. So you might get a bit bored with Cornerstone, at least at this afternoon. Do you want to stick around till nighttime? Do you want to go somewhere else?
Wait, so where was Drake again? That was like the general goods merchant. Is that who it was?
Well,
Blacksmith.
Drake, did you tell anyone where you were going? I think
No,
you were
but
going to wander.
depending on when, I'm figuring they probably at some point would run across each other if cars wandering the streets.
I think you were at the blacksmith's house, like, for a long time, telling stories
For a couple of hours.
and entertaining multiple families.
Yeah, but I did say he would do it for a couple of hours, so depending on when card's all done, I wouldn't be
Okay, so you two want to meet up at nighttime?
Yeah, I got no problem with that.
Okay, where do you meet up?
Whatever the local, slightly less reputable for reputation and more reputable for fun tavern is probably.
And the way I see this going down is Drake's probably going to see Carderock walking in here and going, well, let's go see what he's up to.
Card's just going to be like...
Noxiqual's back on the ship with Lykar and Arlen, like, where the fuck are those fuckers?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, technically, there's two ships, so...
Sure. Carderock, you know of a tavern that's actually there at the waterfront. It's, a seedier joint. It's called Gruesome Dogs. You two want to go there?
Yeah. Gruesome Dogs sounds like the kind of place that make this night. All that and a couple of gruesome dogs.
It'll make you howl into the night.
Yeah.
All right. So evening has fallen. You two, Carderock and Drake, make your way to the dockside tavern. It's a lively place. There's a lot of raucous voices. There's drinking. There's boasting. There's gambling. There's some music. It's a wine house.
A wine sink, even, if you will.
Yeah, a little bigger than a wine sink, as I understand it in a Martin sense.
Okay.
You make your way in. There's people sitting, standing, moving about. It's very lively. Has a smell of like ale, firewood burning, seawater, bodily odor.
So, Drake, you look as though you've had a time.
A interesting time at that.
Oh? Do tell.
That'd be doing exactly what it was. Telling stories to several families here.
Trying to fancy yourself a local celebrity.
Was not aiming to do that at all.
Yes, well, if you were a member of House Hawkness, perhaps you would know already how that feels. If you were a member of House Hawkness.
A guy from a table actually, hey, look, it's Carderock Hawkness, and like 4 guys come up and they're like patting you on the back and like slapping your shoulder and like, oh, where have you been? Where have you come from? Tell us of your travels.
Oh, you know, hither and thither I've gone, and to call what I have won fame is to belittle even the accomplishments of gods, flatter even the accomplishments of gods, whichever one.
Have you been slaying virgins and saving dragons? Hey, knight?
In a manner of speaking.
God.
Well, truly, the gods humble themselves before you.
Oh yes, more than one has.
So, what brings you here? I mean, if you have so much glory, why gruesome dogs?
Oh, business and pleasure.
Well, what kind of business?
The business slaps Drake on the back.
God, no.
Of finding this young man a nice place deep in his cups.
Well, anyone can find that business, but truly, what brings you here?
Oh, going north. Nothing exciting.
North. How far north?
Far enough.
Strang's Keep? I wouldn't go any farther than that.
Sure, yes. If that's what you think.
Yes, well, I've heard some things that make the hairs on the back of your neck stand up.
Norgal's Rock is further north than Strang's Keep, right?
Is it?
If I'm imagining the map, I think it is. Anyway,
Dwarves. I mean, I suppose you could go chomp around in a swamp if you wanted to. Why would you do that?
oh, I don't know. If you ever wanted some nice, relaxing background ambience, I hear there's one up there who can talk for hours and hours and hours about, the most...
As soon as Carr starts talking about Kivvish, Drake is going to walk off and find a drink of some sort.
Okay. Yes, I see my plan is already working.
I think you've taken one too many blows to the head, Carderock Hawkness.
Oh, I think I've taken one not enough.
All right, well, come back to us after you've gotten yourself a bit sauced, and maybe then you'll have a tale worth listening to. Yeah, that one's dry as a biscuit.
Sauced I aim to become. And also, yeah, he really is like pretty much half asleep. He's kind of going through the motions here. He'll order a drink and he'll, sit down and just sort of see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Ostensibly, he's trying to figure out what the local news is, if there are any happenings, if there's anything that we might need to know before we go north. But yeah, other than that, he's actually might be a little bit uncharacteristically lame. Unless the locals rouse him into singing a song, then
They definitely rouse him into singing him a song. They make many requests. Basic talk of interest. Men are being conscripted by Lord Rodvin. He's putting a militia together. He has been for some time now. There's going to be war come spring.
All right, that's actually pretty relevant. Those guys might be some useful allies. Assuming that
this is the big fight that's been brewing for a time.
Yeah, assuming that we're heading towards it, it would be a good thing to know. Not that they wouldn't be, but to know for sure that they're on our side.
Well, the general talk is that there's going to be an army marching from Sumner Field up north to make war against the Merqueen. You get different variations of that. Some people say there's going to be dwarves there. Some say there's going to be elves. Some say there's going to be wizards. Some say it's not going to happen until next year. There's a bunch of conflicting details, but the general thing that you can glean is that indeed conscripts are being called into service and the militia is being trained.
What's the closest consensus about a time?
Well, spring is a word that keeps popping up.
Okay.
Come spring, you hear that a lot.
Hmm.
Drake, what are you drinking?
He will probably get some sort of ale.
Developing a taste for it now, are you?
Unfortunately, yeah, he is. Because everyone keeps seeming to offer it to him, so you might as well just keep drinking it.
How much beer did you drink at the blacksmith's house?
I figure he'd probably have nursed his drinks as much as he can, because he's not a heavy drinker, so he likes to nurse them.
All right. Do you bring a drink back to Carderock as well?
Yeah, only if he's not talking about Kibbish. Otherwise, he'll hand it off to somebody else.
Card won't be talking about Kibbish, but he will definitely have one of the largest ewers and or flagons available of like some high proof barley wine that he, or even just like some kind of just rot gut plonk that's strong that he'll casually shove Drake's direction when he gets there. Oh, you have to try this. This is a local specialty. All
rot gut. This'll turn you in good. There you are.
Drake will try it. Do I need to roll for anything? Because it sounds like this is one of those ones I'm going to need to roll for.
Yeah, make a con save.
I knew it. Oh, that's actually not bad. Unnatural 20.
Okay. You choke down what tastes like liquid fire.
Does smoke come out when he coughs?
No, you don't cough. You're good. I mean, inside you might be like boiling for a second there, but no one knows anymore. Looking at you from the outside.
Do you detect the notes of stone fruits and a hint of wormwood? It's known for its notes of stone fruits and hint of wormwood. Pairs exceptionally well with one of these, and he's just going to slide another.
It tastes more like liquid fire than anything else.
Oh, then it's working.
All right, what's the next one that Drake is trying?
Probably the same thing.
Are you taking another drink of it?
Oh, wait. Is he going to be able to tell us?
Or maybe it's like the local mead. We probably have bees somewhere near here, right? Summerfield seems like it's far enough south to support bees.
Well, there's certainly mead from Horncombe Lodge.
Oh, yeah. Actually, yes. As a matter of fact, it is Horncombe mead.
All right, so you put the rot gut aside. Yeah, I'd have a couple more drinks of that. You'll be singing from the rooftop.
Then this one should. Then I should probably stay away from it. You do not want me singing.
All right, so you all take another round. This time, mead. Carderock, everyone's asking for a tune.
Well, as it just so happens, I just composed this little shanty aboard a ship this very morning across the storm-tossed seas. And he starts off poetically, I dreamed a dream in time gone by, when blood was shed and death worth dealing, and then strums a mighty chord and launches into many, many more verses than necessary, telling of a very embellished version of their whole nightmare and the goings on with Pox Marta and Ringgold's demise at their heads, the heads of the Stormbringers.
Very nice. Give us a performance check.
Alrighty. It's not as good as it perhaps should have been. Well, okay. All right. That's a 22, actually.
Ah, okay. I thought you were going to get a bad roll, and we're like, well, he's so tired and half
I
drunk.
only rolled a 13. I forgot I had a significant plus to it. I knew I had a plus something. I just didn't know it was that high.
All right, so everyone's stamping their feet and clapping their hands and cheering, and the place loves it. And you're treated to drinks and food, and there's maybe a couple of harlots that take a liking to you, and they don't seem to be plying you for payment for services.
Why, of course.
One of them
pay me.
One of them who she is a rotund woman, largely endowed, missing a few teeth, and has like an inch layer of makeup on. Is just like, woohoo, Carderock! And her breath is reeking of ale. And she like just plants her massive buttocks onto your lap and like throws her arms around you and starts trying to smooch you.
Oh, how I wish Robin
He
was
doesn't
here.
know her, does he?
Make a history check. Sounds like no. Well,
That was trying to actually angle it. That was a 20.
Who is this woman? Oh, was it 20?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yes, of course. This is Dot O'Brien. She is well fed in every sense of the word. Many forms of nourishment go into her.
Well, Dottie is still built like a castle tower, I see. Just my type. How has life been treating you?
I've never seen a knight's sword before.
Oh, I believe you have.
What do you mean? Come on.
Oh, never you mind. How have you been? Taking a few hard knocks lately?
Knocks, yeah. Oh, yes, but none so hard as what I'm feeling here. Ping, ping, ping. She raps on the cod piece.
Well, I can tell you where you can meet a hard knocks.
She anything you say, she just eats it up and goes with it, and is like getting kind of slobbery. Are you turning your cheek, or?
I think he's struck by a little bit of a half asleep, half drunk mischief streak, and is gonna want to try and get her to follow him out of this place, right on back to the ship to meet that hard knocks he mentioned.
Okay.
Drake's
The guys whose table was initially are like on the floor, dying of laughter.
Drake is somewhere split between wanting to step in to stop Carderock from doing something very stupid and wanting to see what happens once he realizes what he's done.
Oh, take me on an adventure, brave knight.
Yeah,
Where do you lead Dot to?
the Storm's Eye.
Oh, okay.
Drake will stop Carderock there. Going,
Oh, is this your ship?
Well, no, mine's next door, but this one will suffice.
Okay, Captain.
Drake is going to walk up to Carderock and go, I would not recommend this.
I would.
And what would the captain say?
That's what I aim to find out.
Jesus Christ. And for some reason, we decided to slip out in the middle of the night while you were both asleep. What will he do then?
Well, I'm not.
As you
Okay.
are you're boarding the ship with the pudgy harpy here.
God.
Where are you leading her? To your own cabin?
He said hard knocks, so
Okay.
presumably towards
I guess your old cabin, right?
well, or towards the one with the fancy door, assuming Noxiqual's not actually like out on the deck.
To be clear, let's just clarify for Esper here. You're trying to bring her to Noxiqual's cabin.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what Esper needs to know.
Even Robin didn't do this.
You,
I'm about to say, this is worse than Robin here. Oh my God.
well, this is sleep-deprived, drunk Carderock.
This
So
is indeed, yes.
you pass Kobe the lion on the way. Kobe is chatting with another crew member and having a drink, and not nearly as sauced as you are. Hey, Carderock.
Hey,
Oh, seems you're having a bit of fun tonight.
seems you are all too.
I've only got these sots to keep me company. I ought to go where you went.
Aye, ought you to indeed. Gruesome dogs down by the wharf. Can recommend.
Gruesome dogs. I've been there before. Oh, hi. He greets Dot, and so you go and you take her through like the inner corridor leading to Captain Noxiqual's Warlock Fane.
Yeah.
Nox, how do you lock your door? How do you leave things?
Oh, well, it's always locked. The door, which has obsidian like shards and pieces, of course, now carved and stuck into it. It's got this really ominous feel as you approach it. I feel like that might kill the mood, but
Ooh, magical! Is this the Dragon's Den?
Of a sort.
Is this your wizard's tower?
These are the hard knocks.
you actually knock on the door.
Nox, so when we last saw you, you were at the inn.
Mhm.
Yes.
I think we're still at the, unless Nox had gone back.
I assumed this was later that night, right?
Yeah,
Like,
so Noxiqual could have
what's the
stayed in the
time
inn or
frame?
could have gone somewhere else.
I mean, I would have
Going
slept the best I
south.
could, but then I woke up. And
You weren't able, you weren't
I
able
would
to
have
sleep.
So I would have headed back to my Warlock's Fane to keep working on it, because if I can't sleep, I might as well work.
You hear a knock at the door this night, and you hear a loud, drunken woman's voice out there. This is a Warlock's tower, magical.
Oh, god damn it. Masked one, give me strength not to slay whoever is at my door on the spot. And I put my helmet on, because I imagine I'm like in my armor just in case something happens. You never know. But I put on the helmet and I go to the door.
You're like Barney from How I Met Your Mother with his like suit pajamas.
Yeah,
You never know. You gotta be prepared for whatever
Well,
situation. Okay.
exactly.
So the
but-
door opens, and you see this helmet with like this devilish grin mask front to it, and like this dark armor, and you see Captain Noxiqual. And Noxiqual, you see a really drunk, totally sleep deprived, running on his third wind, Carderock. And there is a very pudgy, exaggeratedly voluptuous, and not necessarily in a good way, depending upon your inclinations. More makeup than like a court jester. Let's see what her reaction is.
Yeah.
Okay, she says, "Ooh, are we gonna have a little play?"
Why are you disturbing me?
Nox, this is Dot. Dot, this is Nox. You have not had fun in
Hello.
far
Oh, your
too long.
armor is so
A lot of you
incredible.
have fun. I shall talk to you in the morning about our future plans. And he turns around and is gonna walk back over in the direction.
Wait, you brought Dot to knock?
Wait, my brave knight, where are you going? You've leaded me with this dark stranger.
Yes, that dark, handsome, mysterious stranger. He says as he walks off.
Hang on one second. No, as you walk off, nah, okay, I can't quite do that. Never mind. I will just say, you will pay for this later, Carderock. We will have a discussion. And then I turn to the woman, who seems completely oblivious to the seriousness of Noxiqual, and very
She
much
seems,
like, oh, it's all
she seems drunk and titillated, and it almost
it's
seems like
all
everything's just a game to her.
Exactly. I will do the Jedi mind trick suggestion spell on her, as I infuse my words with magic, as like my hand makes like little gestures below, in the dark, whatever.
This is not the hard knocks you were looking for.
Not the hard knocks.
Oh God! What do you tell her with your suggestion?
I cast and I say, leave me alone and go sleep with Kobe the lion, the first crewmate that you see that you fancy.
You're giving her to Kobe. Whoa! I think I might have taken a wrong turn, dark stranger. Toodaloo!
I shut the door.
She turns around and you hear her thumping down the hallway, and then you hear her voice. You can't maybe quite make it out; it's kind of far away, but
muffled. Then yeah, got it.
Carderock, from wherever you are, you hear a sound, also kind of muffled, but you can hear it a little bit more clearly, of Kobe the lion. Whoa, Nelly! Oh! In the boat,
Oh my god.
the entire ship is rocking.
Well, then I don't come a knocking. In my cabin, in his cabin on the other ship, Card is gonna finally sleep.
You go back to your own ship, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, this means war, sir.
He's well intentioned.
Lykar, what have you been doing, or what are you doing?
Golly, there's a lot going on here. I guess probably left. We were at the inn, right? Probably just go back to the ship.
Okay. Yeah,
The other
you're
ship.
on the ship.
No, the other ship.
Arlen's just gonna wake up by himself and be like, "What?"
Yeah, Arlen's gonna wake up by himself. All right, so you've gone to the other ship.
Oh, I'm gonna sit there and can I make some kind of Arcana check or intelligence check as to the nature of the dream interruptions, religion check or something, to see if I can think that I can maybe try and figure out a way to block them so we can get some rest.
I would totally help with that, but Arlen's sleeping like a baby right now.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't know what else to really do here if we can't sleep. So is that okay?
So you were pondering to yourself, there must be
a way to combat.
There must be a solution.
Yeah.
There's always a solution, right? Yeah, make an Arcana check to represent knowledge. We can start there.
Okay, that sounds good. Ooh, I got a 4. So I think I'm going to use my inspiration and re-roll that.
Okay.
Oh, that's better. That's an 18 plus Arcana. 19, 20, 25.
Pretty good, man. Well, you know of some different things. There definitely are magics to counter this sort of thing. And I think they kind of range in their strength, right? Their potency. Like there's an 8th level spell called Mind Blank. Obviously, you don't have that. Let's see. Is there I think there's an item that you know of. I mean, you don't have it right now, but you've heard of the. I think it's like a diadem or something that protects, it shields your mind from divinations and mind infiltrating magic and attempts to detect you at a distance. So there's a few things like spells and magic items that you know are out there. So maybe that doesn't do you any good just right here and now.
No, but it's a start.
Yeah, it's something maybe you could look into it if this becomes an ongoing issue.
Well,
you noticed that Arlen was able to, through the strength of mind, overcome it. So if you had a way to bolster, I think there's like a owl's wisdom, if I'm not mistaken, under enhance ability.
Okay, it's a start.
Yeah, give me some more of your thought process, and then maybe I can tell you some more.
Sure, I was just trying to think if there possibly would be like a cleric spell or something that would be able to help the party get some rest, or if there's any items that we could use to get some rest. But
okay, cleric spells. Well, you're going to run through a couple ideas. Let's see. Protection from evil and good. Let's see what happens with this one. Protection from evil and good. Okay. Can be charmed, frightened, or possessed.
Well, it's a start. Like I said, I can think of...
Protection from evil and good is not just going to trump this nightmare spell that's going on. It's kind of in the it's the right idea, but it's not. The effects aren't potent enough. It's a first level spell.
Right. I'm trying to wonder how long would I kind of have any clue of what kind of spell this is in my ponderings.
It's definitely a dream spell. It may be a enhanced version of it or something. Something beyond just the standard run-of-the-mill dream spell, but you're certain it's that.
Okay. Well,
I'm going through cleric spells here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I mean, she can't. Well, I don't think somebody can maintain this for forever, indefinitely. I guess. Possibly.
Okay, so I'll tell you some more about that. And there's actually you just remind me of one other thing that Arlen was wondering about, and so you probably know about it now. So he had this tiny hut. Yeah, it's true that it kind of like blocks the line of effect. If someone was trying to cast like hold person or lightning bolt on you, but this isn't really a line of effect thing. It's what would we consider dream? Is it like a divination? It's like something that is occurring inside your own mind. It's not that anyone is casting something through the barrier.
It does say it doesn't actually specify like line of effect. It just says spells and other magical effects cannot extend through the dome or be cast through it.
Yeah, so that's what you're thinking, Lykar. Is this isn't something that like it's extending through the hut. It's in your own mind.
It's internal.
Okay, and then so that was one thing, and then there was your question of how long can she maintain this? Okay, well,
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily know that, but in my head, Lykar is he understands magics and nothing is indefinite,
right? Well, Basic Dream is a 5th level spell. You know that. So what is this considered? Is it maybe considered like a 7th level spell? An 8th level spell? A 9th level spell? I mean, it seems stronger than the run-of-the-mill 5th level version. So, I mean, if she's just using her own, drawing upon her own spell slots, we'll say she's going to have a limited number of those. Of course, she gets them back every day, as spellcasters do. You think that if she wants to plague you, she's probably going to be able to plague you for quite a while. There is another thing that comes into your mind. Dorian Keldon, the Archmage of Divination, mentioned something, that the Silver Citadel had wards, and that they were not affected by the dreamscapes of the Mer Queen, nor could the mists reach there. Well, the mists actually are out to sea. Nor could the blights, the patches of dark, whatever you want to call it, a curse or a disease that apparently eventually turns people into monstrosities. So Silver Citadel seems to be a sanctuary. A big thing, really, and it's kind of a terrible thing to come to terms with. It's that you have roused the ire of a lich and other terrible foes, and you do not expect that they are going to simply let you go about traipsing around the realm doing whatever you please. They don't like you.
Oh, it's all right.
To put it nicely, and
Yeah,
you don't like them.
No, not very much, but I'm not really too scared of them. But I think, all right, I'm going to take this knowledge and maybe I'll go pay Nox a quick visit and have a chat with him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, I'm popular.
Yeah.
Okay, well, on the way to Nox's cabin, you hear quite a ruckus going on in Kobe's cabin.
Yeah, I say good for him.
Nox like just finished dealing with this, and he's gonna hear another knock on the door.
It's like I imagine
I'm riding the walrus tonight. So you go to the ship, and I'm exaggerating a bit here, but it's there's some boards creaking, that's for sure.
That's all right.
Maybe a little extra seasickness. Nox, you got another knock at your door.
Uh-oh.
Maybe Lykar, you have your special knock, so the captain knows it's you.
Actually someone. Okay. I'll if I hear that's Lykar, I won't be.
Yeah.
So I will get up and go over and open the door. The mask will be up though, so I'm not wearing the mask on my face.
Yeah, I don't want to be scared. So basically, we're gonna have a little chat about, what's going on here, because it's affecting him too, and tell him what I've been thinking about, and see if he has any ideas that we could possibly brainstorm together, or call in some reinforcements, or maybe get some wards, or.
So what you're speaking of is doing something so we can rest and regain our energy, our magical energy. I could ask the masked one if he is able to lock out. I know that you have some connection with your Titan ancestor. You might be able to draw upon them. They certainly have the power to back some sort of protective wards, I'm sure, if you supplied the actual wards themselves.
Yes, but the wards are beyond my scope of knowledge.
I see. All that I have is the ability to summon up a devil, and I don't believe that they would be able to help us. I know Abigor could help us if we came to perhaps the Devil's Den, but that is where we are heading. So honestly, I thought we would have left by now, but apparently my crew decide to do things on their own without consulting their captain.
Well, then maybe we should make haste for there at our earliest convenience.
I plan to leave at first daylight. We'll see what we can do here in the meanwhile.
Because we're okay for now, but this will eventually lead to our demise if we cannot rest and sleep.
Agreed. I suggest that spread the word to the crew that we'll be leaving in the morning. Tell Kobe to throw that harlot off the ship as soon as he's done, and make sure that Carderock and the others know that we are about to move.
Very well. And I'll go off and I won't bother Kobe for now. We'll bother him last. We'll start getting other people together here and get ready to make sail first light.
Do you come back to my room after like 8 hours when I would wake up?
I assume you're already awake. Like, I thought this happened at night and we slept during midday.
Oh, am I awake now?
Okay, Arlen, you awaken alone in a very nice inn suite. Maybe you have that moment of,
yeah.
Where am I? What time is it? What's going on?
My eyes look around, be like, oh, well, it's like at least I got some nice rest. I definitely feel much better now that I've gotten some rest. I would probably just, well, actually, yeah, since I was going to do something else, but I think since everyone isn't here, I'd probably head back to the ship. So I guess Arlen would probably head back to the ship. I do have a question.
Yeah,
I would also like to look into what's been going on, because it appears that this Leomund's tiny hut didn't work for everyone, and that I just got, and also I still had that little interaction with her.
Yeah.
Does it appear to be perhaps a curse or something? Because that's the one thing I could think of that would get through a Leomund's tiny hut.
Okay. Do you want to be going through this solo, or are you joined up with Lykar and Noxiqual?
I'd probably join up with Lykar and give this give
I think
my
that's
ideas
good,
as well.
because then it's all pooled, all your knowledge.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Lykar does not think this is a curse. Lykar believes this is Pox Marta, either through her own spellcasting ability or, wielding some Merqueen power, using a dream spell or a variant of the dream spell on you all.
Yes, these are no trivial foes that we are dealing with.
Yeah. Noxiqual is getting crankier by the next morning, so if people aren't ready, he's going to make them ready.
Card wakes up with a headache, but slightly better rested, hopefully without having had any more nightmares, and really no less worried about what is actually happening and what they're about to get themselves into.
Oh, Card wakes up, does he?
Yeah.
You're assuming he actually was able to sleep.
Yeah, that's an interesting assumption.
Well,
I will be able to sleep, Esper. That's what Card says.
Yeah.
Card, every time you doze off, you've got this nightmare vision of Pox Marta, and you awaken, and you have this crawling feeling over you.
Being drunk didn't work. Okay.
Nope.
Not for any length of time, maybe a couple minutes.
Right.
Does he take damage?
Drinking didn't work.
Psychically attacks.
I mean, it depends. It didn't work for what? I mean, it certainly worked for
falling asleep and staying that way.
For Kobe. It worked out for him.
Well, shall we fast forward to the next morning if no one's getting any sleep?
I will. I guess before we do that, I should probably mention that I don't know how to roleplay this per se, but I'll say I do have a spell captain that I'm assuming I'm talking with Lykar and Captain Noxiqual. I do have a spell that could potentially give us some information, and I'll describe essentially contact other plane, where I could basically speak to like a demigod, a long dead sage, things of that nature, but that it's very dangerous as well. So basically saying that like I could potentially find an answer to this situation, unless you have another plan, but also that I am not necessarily wanting to do this either.
It's not worth the risk.
All right, I'll nod my head and yeah, I guess we'll all attempt to rest. Oh, actually, I guess I want to attempt to rest right now since I've already gotten in. I don't want to take the damage.
Well, Drake would take his 4-hour meditation of the long rest, so I don't know if I need to do anything for that.
Noxiqual is just going to stay through the night working on his Fane, even though he knows he needs rest. It's wearing him down, but he's toughened through it with his constitution, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we are getting into like the morning of the next day, and again, everyone is attempting a long rest.
No, I won't since I already got my long rest. So
okay,
Yeah.
I just got confused there. Then
Yeah.
I think I'm just going to, for Lykar for now, I'm just going to try and relax.
Mhm.
You know, just be calm and chill out in the corner, because I know if I fall asleep and my hit points are starting to get low.
yeah, Captain, are you still giving all temporary hit points every night?
Yeah, I can give out the temporary hit points every short rest.
How much are they again?
17.
Mm-hmm. So why don't we have? It's the next morning now. Noxiqual, Lykar, and Carderock make Constitution checks to try to stay awake.
I swear I just got another nat 20.
To try and stay awake, you said?
Assuming you're trying to stay awake.
Okay, well, Card's not doing it.
Okay.
5, I imagine, is not doing it.
And
I got a
Lykar?
16.
Okay. Nox and Lykar, you're toughing it out. You haven't slept, but you're still going. Carderock, you probably had disadvantage on that for being drunk. And you doze off. The nightmare does not leave you. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, shit.
All right, so I'm guessing a 9 is also not good, right?
In the nightmare, Poxmarta is plucking out your eyes, and you're like screaming, and wings sprout from them and add to the little moth cloud that hovers about her. And you awaken, maybe screaming yourself, suffering 14 points of psychic damage.
You damnable lich woman, I shall stuff an apple tart upon the head of your corpse.
And you're grasping Freddy Krueger's hat in your hands.
Ah. Or the head of my favorite racehorse is next to me in bed.
Well, that's
I'm gonna
Noxiqual.
get
That wasn't
revenge.
Noxiqual.
That's the last thing I do. All right.
Come
Are you
to
staying
me.
in Bliskmill? Are you moving on to somewhere else?
All right, we're moving on, right?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, post
Noxiqual
haste.
insists, as soon as like everyone's together, he's like, "No more delays. We need to make haste." So,
Okay.
I am sailing the ships up the river.
All right. You
When-
press along the river. It has many bends and turns, and you pass by Sumnerfield proper, and they raise the bridge here, and you pass by Hangman's Hill,
Mhm.
and there's another bridge. This one arches high enough overhead. You then pass by Strang's Keep, which again, there's a point where there's like a stopping point here, where the guards of this keep, they keep a watch over the waterways. If you want, we can continue on. Or Noxiqual, did you have anything of note here?
I think we'll continue on. My only thoughts are when they try and stop him, Noxiqual will be a little more irritable
Mm-hmm.
than normal.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you've dealt with these soldiers before. Seems like you're just kind of in a straight up just passing through, and you continue onwards. Captain Thorngren Juniper, company captain there. You make your way now all the way to Terratown. Is that?
That is a destination where we will stop to unload cargo.
Okay.
It's the main town pretty close to Norval's Rock
Yep.
that the supplies can be
Yes.
offloaded to.
This is the main halfling town here along the Sedge River, which feeds into the Alder and the Rosbus. Here amongst the marshlands, kind of the border marshlands, and there are signs of conflict, post-conflict, we could say, in Terratown. It's probably nightfall by the time you're here, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But still, you can make out some signs that there's been conflict, there's been violence here, and they are in a state of repair and recovery, and things are a bit chaotic.
I'm guessing they'd love some supplies delivered then.
You speak with
at a very reasonable price, too.
You speak with a halfling fellow, and he's a bit scatterbrained, and he doesn't really have the proper, documents to fill out, but he does his best to interact with you. Yes, well, supplies would be good depending upon what you have. I would be interested in taking a look. It's a bit late, though. We could do it in the morning if you don't mind.
I would do my business now if it's all the same.
Oh, yeah, all the same. Okay, wait here if you would. I'll be back soon.
Yes.
And there's a bit of delay, and he's gone for a while, and
you're
not sure if he's coming back.
While that happens, Arlen actually would maybe walk up a little bit to the captain and say, "Captain, you feeling all right? I know it's been a while since since most of us."
Of course I'm all right. You're questioning if I'm all right?
I sort of look down a bit and say, "Oh, sorry, I'm just making sure," and then I'll just sort of awkwardly walk away.
Of course. Nothing wrong. Everything's fine. Just need to make it the devil's den.
I'm gonna go AFK for just a minute. I must heed the call of nature, and
Okay.
if you guys want to just keep role playing or whatever, tend to the watchfire. I'll be right back.
Mhm.
Sure.
I guess when we do some roleplay, maybe when Arlen walks away, Drake, where are you at it? I know that we were going to have that thing with an interaction. I don't know if Knoxville would do anything.
He would be, I don't know. Well, I know he's on the other boat because he wants to stay as far away from Arlen as he can, if possible.
I guess I'd go talk to Lykar a bit, perhaps. Because you're on the boat, the same boat as us, right?
Sure.
Okay. I'd go up to Lykar and be like, "So, you're a man of spells as well, of the arcane?
I am.
What all do you know? What kind of spells do you know? I'm always trying to learn more myself."
I know a great deal of things. I base my powers upon the elements.
Oh, you're an elemental mage, as the like.
Yes, I can command the wind and the rain around me and lightning.
I'd nod my head and say, "Oh, that sounds fantastic. Perhaps we should exchange notes at some point. I would love to learn some of your elemental magic. I know a great deal of life and death kinds of magic."
Perhaps when I am in a clearer state of mind, we could possibly discuss that.
Yeah, I'll sort of nod and say, "Yes, I know that most of us here haven't really had much sleep. I was able to get a good night's rest last night, but it seems that my little hut didn't help the rest of you get sleep. I hope you're all doing all right overall, though.
I will hold in there. These are powerful magics working against us.
Yes, I've been trying to look into it and study it, but I haven't been able to come up with any good idea of how to deal with this spell that this lich has put upon us. If I discover something, though, I'll be sure to let you all know.
Yes, this is most inconvenient, and if I see her, I will express my displeasure.
Yes, I think we all will, and I'll sort of go back to doing my own thing at this point. Not because Esper came back, but you know.
Yes, it is a bit of a tense and.
Oh, actually, I do have a question, Esper. Are we, or I guess maybe this is a Noxiqual as well? Are we like planning on staying in this little town for like a long time, like a day, or are we like just doing this and then going? Okay, I was just checking.
Yeah, we got to keep on trucking so I can get some sleep.
Yeah, about how much time do we have?
Devils and wizards to deal with. Okay.
About how much time would we have on this little island, or are we just like right after we sell the goods, we're leaving?
Selling the goods, and that's
okay. Arlen will just stay.
If they don't take advantage of my opportunity, we're gonna leave, and I'll sell those goods later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Arlen will just stay on the ship then.
That seems to be the case. The halfling that you spoke to, he hasn't come back yet, and he's been gone for an hour. And it's nighttime.
I understand. Is there anyone else there that I can leave a message with for him?
There are 2 halflings. They just have like a little lantern glowing, and they're fishing off of a dock.
That's fine. I ignore them because they're clearly not like there for business.
Yeah, so, right.
I'm gonna go ahead and get back on my ship and just say we set sail. I gave him like an hour, probably, I assume. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been over an hour now, and the guy, he hasn't come back yet.
And that's all the time I have.
The whole place just seems very disorganized right now.
That's fine. They've had months. If they can't get their act together, they don't deserve my supplies.
You continue on, sailing up river by night?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to head for the Devil's Den.
And the Devil's Den is not far away. You pass a small river village, a small halfling river village called Shinshiv. Again, it's night. It's a river village at night. There's not much going on there. And you continue on until the river is starting to flow into a headwaters area.
Quick question, Esper.
I guess they're flowing out of.
I just remembered that Arlen would have wanted to do this while we're on the ship before we get to Devil's Den. While we're like traveling, could Arlen go down and sort of maybe look into Carderock? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the undead. Maybe like research a little bit and figure out what's going on with that.
Carderock. Let's see.
Sure.
Now, I feel like did he get off of the ship?
I thought he was still on our ship.
He was still on the ship.
Is he still on the ship? I feel like there was some scene where he went invisible off the ship.
No, I put him into my cabin.
Oh, he was.
I guess it was somebody else that went.
Oh, then Arlen would have to go to a captain's cabin. So I guess I would knock on your cabin.
Well, I mean, he didn't stay in my cabin.
Okay, well, then I will go down to where Carderock is.
He's probably hanging out with your undead.
Yeah.
Where is Parkrith being held? Is he with Arlen's skeleton in the bilge?
Yeah, I think that's probably the case. And Parkrith is probably talking to the skeleton, because it's Parkrith. He's the goblin boss. Yeah.
Do you have him chained up still?
I let him off his chain for good behavior.
Okay.
But
my skeleton is keeping an eye on him, making sure.
I will say he knows better if he uses my back on the chain.
All right. Arlen, you make your way down into the bilge. It's dark. It's damp. and it smells foul down there, and it's pretty cramped, and you have to hunch a little bit to even be able to move. And you hear a voice down there, just kind of, you know, this whispers. And you get closer, and you can hear Parkereth just muttering to your skeleton, and your skeleton, it looks at you, it goes like this.
Oh, I would sort of, you know, when I get into their line of sight, I'd be like, "Oh, sorry, my friend. I hope he hasn't done too much to you.
Have you come to feed me?
You know what? Actually, yeah, Arlen may have brought him a little bit of a snack. I'll pull out the snack from my bag and say, "Is this what you're looking for?" And I guess it's just some like flesh or something.
Ah, delicious. I was starved.
I'm sure you were. Would you mind if I took a little?
Boney here's a rather boring companion.
Yes, he doesn't really speak much, but at least you have a companion now. Would you mind if I took a bit of a closer look at you?
Well, you might draw a picture. It will last longer.
I've never been very good at artwork, and I'm going to start walking a bit closer now, and just like sort of like, I guess, I don't know what Arlen might have, just like some tools and stuff, and start like poking at Parkereth.
What are you doing to me?
I'm sorry. I'm just, you're very interesting. I'm just trying to figure out exactly what makes you tick, and just sort of like keep continuously poking at him and trying to like look into him.
I ain't got a heartbeat. You want to put your hand here?
I guess I'll stop and say, something about you just seems a bit off.
You're not the first person to tell me that.
Would you mind if I? That's it. Would you mind if I maybe just cut you open a little bit? Just look inside.
Of course, I would mind.
But you're already dead, and I'm gonna start like pulling out like a bit of a I guess like a bit of like a little dagger kind of
A little scalpel.
Yeah.
Get your knife away from me.
I'm gonna gesture to my skeleton to sort of hold Parker down.
Oh God.
No, get your claws off of me.
Stranger danger.
I'm gonna start walking over, and I'm just gonna like cut into him just like a little bit, just so I can like peel back the skin, maybe perhaps a bit. Like I don't want to fully disembowel him yet.
Okay. Well, sure. You make an incision. Looks zombie-like to you.
All right. I'm just gonna like look into him and like and now I guess I'll just like put it back to where it was, and like I'm not gonna like sew it back or anything. Just put it back, and then I'm gonna walk back.
While you're doing that, make a. Oh, I think acrobatics is probably the best thing for this. Make an acrobatics check.
Oh, I'm bad at this. I do have a +1. I rolled a natural 20, Esper. I
All right. You maneuver so that Parkereth does not bite you.
Okay. Good. Oh, like when he tries to, I guess I'm just gonna like slap him a bit and like look at my like skeleton to like hold him a bit tighter and be like, "Oh, just sit still. It's fine. You're already dead. It's not like anything worse can happen to you."
Oh, there's always something worse that can happen.
But yeah, I'll just keep going for I guess maybe like 15-30 minutes or so, just like putting incisions into them in different areas, looking at them. And then when I'm finished, I guess I'll like wipe my blade down, put it back in my bag, stand up a bit, and just like walk back a little bit just in case he tries anything, and then gesture for my skeleton to sort of let him go and say, thanks for that, Parkereth. I'm sure that this will help me a little bit to learn more about you. I'll probably return at another time. Good meeting you. And then I'll start walking out.
I hope you drown.
I'll eat you first.
But yeah, I'll walk back up and continue to wait for when we get to the Devil's Den.
The Storm's Eye and its groggy captain, knight, and storm sorcerer approach a great tor, one of the large hill formations rising up out of the swamplands, actually the northwestern border of the swamplands here. And from a scraggly maw opening in the hillside flows rapids. You've sailed into these rapids once before. They're a bit precarious, but you've done this before.
I recall.
Are you sailing into them again?
And so we've come full circle at last. Let us enter into the maw of the Devil's Den. I do. I actually take the wheel. Not, I'm tired, but I have full faculties, I feel. My exhaustion has not affected me.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's find out. Sure. I'd like Noxiqual, Lykar, and Carderock to make Constitution saving throws.
Okay. Well, I got an unnatural 20 that time.
Okay, that's good.
Oh, Constitution. 16 plus 3. 19.
That's good.
I got a 15.
Barely good enough.
All right. Cool.
So you all are still staving off the worst of the exhaustion. You have no actual levels of exhaustion yet, though it's getting more difficult to keep going. Noxiqual, you are manning the helm. Make a dexterity water vehicles check. So like a trained dexterity check.
Okay. Plus my water vehicles. All right. So I've got what's my dex? That's going to be a total of it's an unnatural 20.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The waters flowing out of the mouth of the cavern are rough, but you are navigating them with skill. Go ahead and make another check as you are entering internally into the cave. There are more twists, rough
21.
Rough currents, even a few rocks.
Oh, I do have a quick question as well, Esper. Sorry, I wanted to do something since we are getting into a cave as well, which is probably going to be fairly dark. I would like to use my Magecraft thing from my variant human, if possible, to create. So it says I can choose a cantrip from the wizard spell list to sort of put onto an item, so I can gain that cantrip. So I was wondering if I could do this real fast, just like I guess on my staff to have it have the light cantrip.
You're gonna Gandalf this?
Yes.
And what does your staff look like?
Oh boy, I forgot how I described it. It's basically just like it's not a very fancy staff, just a black wooden staff with a bit of a curve to it on the end. It's just a basic one. I don't have anything too fancy. It's just my magic focus, actually.
Okay. All right. So you have a staff that is not anything conspicuous, other than the fact that it's black. That's maybe unique. And you activate it, and a field of light comes off of it.
Well, so I guess I should describe the whole. So basically, what it does is it lets me. I'll just read this out. So it says that you can create a temporary magic item out of common materials. Choose a cantrip from the wizard spell list. Describe the item connected to it. As long as you possess the item, you know the cantrip. Mm-hmm. And at the end of a long rest, I can replace it with a new item and select a cantrip. And then intelligence. So I was just like giving it to it so that I can use that cantrip if I need it later on.
Okay. So you haven't activated it yet.
Yeah, I have not activated it yet. Just for future reference. So that
It's good to know because you're the only one with card that needs light, I think.
Exactly. That's why I'm doing it as well, so that we can have light if needed.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
Drake will be giving card the eyes night
skill check that Esper was asking for. That's kind of important so we don't all die.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt that.
That's okay. Esper, take a moment to clear yourself. Yep, you're good. Don't choke.
Come on, Esper. What is this? I expected a campaign, not the.
I
I've
turn
confirmed.
sharply and Arlen goes flying off the ship.
I have confirmed I still cannot cast water breathing.
Hmm.
You have entered into the great cavern known as Devil's Den, and everyone calls it that, and not everyone realizes that there is great truth in this name.
Oh yes.
The river splits into 3 causeways, like great tunnels.
Yep.
2 of them are flowing with the water, properly flowing with the water from the source.
Yep.
The third one has but a trickle.
Yep. So we've got from left to right, if memory serves. It's been like 2 years. So
Yeah, there's actually carven runes above each tunnel, like entry markings.
which I can read thanks to my Eyes of the Runekeeper.
That you can.
So
read. Anyone who speaks Infernal, you could make it out as well.
I speak Infernal.
Okay. So
Say Abaddon or no, it wasn't Abaddon.
This way to Bator was one of them.
Yeah, Bator. Bator was the left tunnel.
mhm.
The right tunnel was something that I can't recall, and the middle one was something Far Realmsy, which was not good. So I remember the right one is the one that'll take us to a little back door to what's his name? Abagor.
The tunnel that's not flooded. It had some older alien script that got written over with the Infernal
That's what
script,
it was.
and that
Yeah.
one is going to lead you to Abagor's lair.
I think the Bator one also leads to his lair, like where a ship could go.
No
If I
one went into that one.
Okay, that's fair.
Nope.
I thought that was the one that you told us to go into
There
when my
was
ship
an
was.
indication, I think, of one of them leading to another one, though I don't know if it was that one. I
The
don't know.
one that is marked with Bator, you never actually went down that way. And then the
Okay.
other flooded one leads into a lake, a gloomy lake with some phosphorescent fungus on the walls.
Cool. Well, we're gonna go to the right one, which is the right one,
Mm-hmm.
and so we'll park our ship in the trickle, kind of calm water of that area.
Glad you remember this. It's been a while.
It's been 2 years. I know.
I've never been here, so this is perfect for a new character.
Yep, just keep on playing that Lost feeling. Yeah, that's it. Just like that.
You make your way through a cavern tunnel now on foot. You eventually come to a rusted iron door that is covered with spikes jutting out towards you.
Remind me, did he repair that after we broke it down?
Yeah, Agnor broke that down. It's quite repaired now. Still rusty, but repaired.
So it's closed, yes, because it would make sense. He closes it. Luckily, we have so many more tools at our disposal now that we are.
Including the Onyx gauntlets.
Yes, 8 levels higher. Yeah. I go over and I will use my iron gauntlets and I just knock on the door and say, open.
Open up.
Open sesame.
Yes, open up. Exactly.
This is a horrendous racket off these old rusted hinges, and the spikes swing aside. The tunnel continues on, and you can see a light there at the end of this tunnel. A nice, warm hearth fire sort of light. You all proceed on.
All right. I just turn to everyone and I say, make no deals, speak no promises, and be on your best manners. The last time I was here, I'm on decent terms with Abagor, but he is old and he may not. Well, he does not forget a slight easily, I imagine.
Isn't he the one that missed some part of the tail?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not bring up old wounds here.
Arlen,
Perhaps
Arlen-
it's better if you not talk at all.
Arlen being a
Tell me
bit,
questions
Yeah,
make
don't
deals
bring up his
with
tail.
devils.
Arlen
Let's
being a
not squabble over who cut off whose tail tip.
Arlen being a bit new here and not knowing exactly what to expect, we'll offer to Carderock if he would like for Arlen to make his weapon a bit better.
He
Yeah,
wants to buff your weapon.
yeah.
You wish to do what?
Oh, it's very simple, and I'm just sort of like gonna start doing it without explaining fully what I'm doing.
There are figures there before you get into much of your spell casting.
Yep.
There's 4 of them. They're wearing armor. Their whole body is suited up in armor.
Oh.
And there's even masked helms with these vague expressions on them. They have crossbows, and they also have halberds at the ready. There's a brass coloration to their armor and their equipment. They speak in the infernal tongue. Who all understands this? Just Arlen?
Yep, Arlen can speak Infernal.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I will
Out
cast
there.
tongues. Though.
Out there. Their crossbows are in hand. They're not pointing them at you, but they have bolts in them loaded. Who comes?
After they say the halt there and I don't understand, I cast tongues so I can understand them.
Okay.
Seeing-
Is it a 1 action cast?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And Arlen, what was your spell?
Yeah, I just speak Infernal.
What was your spell that you were talking to Carderock about?
Oh, yeah, so it's actually not a spell. It's a spellsmith from my variant as well. I can give his where was it? I can give his +1 bonus to hit and damage if it's a weapon. So I'd be giving that. I'd basically be making it a +1 weapon.
I think it already has that.
Oh, it already has that? Then I will do it to his armor, then give his armor +1 bonus to AC.
Carderock, is this acceptable?
It only lasts for an hour, by the way.
You're muted, Carderock. You have no voice. Speak, men.
I do not know which sorcery you aim to use, but if it works,
I'm gonna go and say, "Oh, don't worry. I don't think it'll hurt much," and then I go to do it.
you're more helpful.
I've never really done it with someone actually wearing the armor before, and then I'm gonna start.
This is your final warning. They aim their heavy crossbows.
Yep. And I step forward as my tongue spell takes effect and I hear them. Lower your weapons. I am expected by your master, Abagor. I am Captain Noxiqual, and these are the Stormbringers.
Then be welcome, Stormbringers. You are expected, Noxiqual. Abagor awaits you. And in a rather militaristic fashion, the 4 of them shift and give you passage ahead.
Would I know these are very likely Legion devils? I've
Yes.
studied devils because I have the spell that summons them.
Yes.
Excellent.
They're Legion Devils, aka Brass Devils, aka Maragons.
Maragons. I forgot their other name. Or is it Myrmidons? Or
Maragon.
Maragon? Yeah.
They are
Yeah.
actually well trained and even prized bodyguards.
Yeah, they're no joke, even for their CR.
Yeah.
Enough of them together.
Other stronger devils also might think of them as meat shields.
Exactly. I mean, they're serious. Yeah.
Is it very dark in here, by the way?
Not particularly. Of course, there's going to be a shadowy corner or nook here and there because it's like firelight, torches, and a hearth as you all get into the actual Devil's Den. So let's just get right into that. There's a great hall. There are 2 doors shut. The great hall has a rather well-appointed banquet table. There are some other decorum here that, while it is tasteful and richly, has a devilish persuasion to it. Abigor himself is a barbed devil. Spikes and spines adorn his entire body. He's also fond of wearing a lot of jewelry. So he's going to have rings and necklaces and piercings and bracelets and such. He also has a nice little, we'll say like a brass studded with some minor gemstones cap on the end of a severed tail tip. What else is in this room? There are some people feasting here at the table as you enter in. There's a goblin. There are a male and a female tiefling, reddish skinned, horned ones. There is a halfling.
The way you say
other than that, just,
goblin, this is just any goblin.
He has the yellowish coloration to his skin.
Hang on a second. If I may, is this Prosperine and Fenris, Hugs the Goblin, and Cade Cat Rabbit?
Yep.
They're still sitting at that table all this time?
I mean,
they haven't left. I mean, why would they? Where else would be a better place to go? No, I called them here. We've been expecting you. Welcome, Stormbringers. I am Abigor, purveyor of my humble den here.
Thank you for your hospitality, Abigor, and I can see that you have come up in the world, even improving your station as any good devil should.
I do what I can. Oh, I believe we're short one chair. Let me go and fetch that. And he goes over to a corner, and there's like a cauldron with some bubbling food in it, and he scoots this big chain pile out of the way and gets a chair out, dusts off the cushion a bit. Here we are. Please sit, eat, drink.
Excellent.
We can speak. It is good to see you,
Of course,
Noxiqual.
But it is good to see you in your own abode again. Yes.
Well,
I wish we could.
Most splendid to be seen. Though you look a bit. Are you feeling well?
We have been dealing with the Mer Queen's Lieutenant Pax Marta. Yes. She has harassed us nightly since we have decided to make our way here.
You have no doubt caught her attention. Powerful champions that you are.
Indeed, she is expending quite a bit of her own resources specifically to cause us pain and prevent us from being able to rest effectively.
Look at it on the bright side. It's rather flattering, isn't it?
That is one way, but do you sleep yourself, Abigor?
Well, I am fond of taking naps now and again, but it's not a regular habit of mine.
Yes, well, imagine something that you require to do, perhaps making deals, and you were unable to make your deals. You were prevented from doing so. Would that not vex you?
Oh, greatly so.
Indeed.
Now I'm just racking my brain to think what it is I might be able to do to alleviate you of this malady.
Well,
one thing does come to mind, but I can't recommend it, not in the slightest.
Oh, of course.
The
I'm sure you have
passageway to the other place.
Would
You
that,
might free yourself from
explain a-
one adversary, but stumble upon yet another.
I have a feeling if we were to enter that passage, there's another who has shown great interest in us. The Chained King, the Wanderer, the
Wandering King.
Wandering King, yes. He
Cugs, the Goblin Warlock, finishes like some meat off of a bone.
His name is Nyalathotep, but don't say it too loud. He might be hearing.
Card is going to really quickly make contact with Tug and make a holy sign with his hand and say something.
Yeah. Nyala totapnas neveru profiti.
No! Cugs like goes underneath the table. The tiefling couple, Prosperine and Fenris.
Fenris.
They cast scowls at you, Carderock.
I jest.
That is nothing to be jesting about.
I have not sworn
I
an oath
agree.
as a paladin. I'll have you know that.
I agree. That is not something to be jesting about in this
There
place,
is great
Carderock.
trouble when uttering this name and making japes and mummeries out of such things.
I
Especially when-
promised not that you held such animosity.
Why would I not hold animosity towards the elder evils? The
Well-
slithering things from beyond.
Are they not just that? Elder, long gone?
Where are you from, man?
I
This is
point at
Drekengrim.
Carderock.
The great old ones are more present here than anywhere.
This is interesting, because actually, I don't know. In character and out of character, I don't know why. It seems strange that devils would pay that much heed to the great old one. Well, I guess they aren't devils, but like those in league with devils would pay that much heed to the great old ones.
Because they don't want the world to be turned
Heed?
into an alternate
More
reality.
loathing.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah. I point at Carderock and I say, "Shut your mouth. I don't want any more japes from you. I've had quite enough over the past 3 days. I remember still what you did when we were back in name of the town, Esper.
Bliskmill.
Yes.
Oh,
I remember.
Maybe no trouble.
Were you to call down this old one upon us, I would slay you where you stand. I have no time for this."
Nobody is
It
sorry.
seems that every time I have you all here, there's a great amount of tension. Why don't we have some cake?
I agree.
Yes,
he
he
brings-
solves everything.
He brings out a wonderful cake that's like pickled eels and glazed walnuts.
It's an odd
Interesting
combo.
combo.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, sure.
Arlen will
Everyone
sort
has
of-
their
Arlen will just kind of poke it with the fork a bit, just look over it, and kind of take a little bit of a bite.
The guy with the skeleton arm, the necromancer, the one who like raises zombies and rotting corpses from the dead, is
Who was just
by
Hey,
massacring,
I don't-
ghouls.
The
halfling- The halfling like is shoveling his down, and he says, "Well, you're not going to eat that. If you don't like it, I'll take it."
It's and I'll take a very little bite to see if I like it. I don't know if Arlen would like it. You said it's pickled eels.
Clearly, it does not suit his palate. Thank you.
Yeah,
All right.
I'll let him take it.
Listen up. I came here for a reason, and I'm not going to eat cake while there's still business to discuss.
Yes, I didn't mean to bring up nasty topics. Well, you know,
Oh, it's all right.
luckily things have been calm around here since you last came, Noxiqual. The tidying up that you did in the other place seemed to have worked quite well.
Well,
Would you like more to
if it
drink?
didn't- no, I'm fine. But let me ask you this, because this is a serious matter. Have you, since a few days ago, I asked you something when we were at the temple
Yes.
of Ambrosia. I asked, do you know where the boots of shadow stepping?
Shadow walking?
Shadow walking. I couldn't remember if you said shadow stepping or walking.
No worries.
Shadow walking. Do you know where they are?
We should speak in private. If you would, come with me.
All right, I motion to everyone to like stay here, and I say, Lykar, you're in charge while I'm gone.
Go golly.
I mean,
Alright,
you're
so-
the most seniority. Yeah.
He leads you through a door, and you're in just a very short tunnel, just a little connecting corridor. There's one door shut and locked. He walks past it, and he takes you into his own personal quarters, something like a bed chamber. And there is an idol to Glacia on a pedestal here, and some other, accoutrement of his own, and some decorations.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're not going to like what I'm going to say, so I'm just going to give it to you straight. Originally, a superior of mine, a Balson Cray, horned devil, his hoard contained the boots of shadow walking. They had been traded
Told me this, I recall.
They had been traded to him by an aspiring warlock in the prior generation. Well, upon my inquest, it was discovered that they are missing. Someone has stolen the boots of shadow walking, and I'm not happy about that. I'm sure you're even less thrilled than I am. Though I'm sure none is suffering as much as Balson Cray himself. This looks very poorly on him. It reflects very poorly. Glacia is not fond of things or people slipping from her grasp.
There's an insult that needs to be met.
But who was the insulter? That is the question.
I have a guess, though obviously it's only a guess. The only person who has claimed to have these boots, and who could have followed through perhaps with stealing them from a devil's realm, is the Wandering King.
Well, that would explain our little outburst just previously.
Indeed. He has them. I want them. How are we going?
It's never
to
just
make
one
this
thing
happen?
at a time, is it?
No, it isn't.
Well, what are we to do? You're being plagued by Pox Martyr, and potentially one of the great old ones is in possession of one of the items you need to complete your suit.
He has expressed interest in something that he would trade for the boots, but I had not confirmed whether or not he even had them. And then I thought that he did not, in fact, have them when you told me of the devil who did.
Yes.
But now it seems to lend some credence to his claim.
Well, you know the passageway leads to his realm.
Indeed. Oh, that time ago,
I warned
we
you
went
against
there.
Yes. You saw things, or at least heard things. I think
I remember there were...
If you were to voyage, tread through this mad realm, you would come across far worse things than what you encountered previously.
Aberrations and things that are not of this place.
You encountered minor horrors. Plenty of them, but enough that you could control. I believe you spoke, or maybe it was that Aldous Thorngage spoke of standing still for any amount of time in the other place, attracted attention to yourselves. The strange worm things came crawling out, and there were sounds of something large,
Big,
coming,
yes,
heavy,
coming.
steps like the thundering of a colossus.
Exactly.
Yeah. Certainly there are eyes that we cannot see that gaze upon such places. Oh my. Is this something that you could see to after this whole mess with the Merqueen has settled?
I fear that the more of these items that I could see to this, but having this at my side would be a great benefit. It would be nearly completing the set of the masked one that I'm collecting.
I understand that. I understand that you're very eager.
What about
These
this?
eels are delicious, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Glacia is not happy about this.
No, and she's not
And
happy with
neither
your
is.
comrade, who conveniently did not come here, I see.
Oh no, he is staying far away from Glacia, I think, and her agents.
I put in what word I could on your behalf. She wanted to speak with you.
Indeed.
Yes.
I'm willing to speak with her, but you understand that I serve a different master, though we can treat and be allies. I am not her warlock.
Glacia, well, few can resist her. I know I can't. But as much as her favor is luscious, her wrath, her rancor is doubly so.
Hell hath no fury is a saying I've heard. But
More than you know.
I am not unwilling to help her achieve her ends, so long as I get what I seek as well. She has
I
resources.
sense that our meetings evermore provide us with mutual benefits, and that delights me most so. Let us speak of the boots of shadow walking. What do you know of them?
I know that they're part of the set that my patron bid me collect. I know they have abilities to transport one through the shadows, I believe.
In a manner of speaking, though in a way that you may never have experienced before. I can see why he who claims to be a king would have interest in them, as he traverses all places. At least he pretends to.
Indeed.
The boots of shadow walking give you an ability to, should we say, walk the dark roads, passageways that are enable the wearer to reach distant points much faster and bypassing other obstacles that would typically slow or waylay wayfarers.
Powerful magics, indeed. Any magic that can travel over a great distance is highly prized.
Yes, well, you may be able to simply walk out of Drekengrim with them.
Interesting.
Yes, I heard a tale. With these boots, you are able to traverse passageways that are otherwise inaccessible. Passageways, tunnels, caverns, places that are touched by the plane of shadow.
I've been to such a place before. I believe there was, yes, powerful shadow magic there.
Yes, the dark shadow of the world. And this is not discounting the fact that wonderfully armored boots would protect your toes from stubs and stomps and other such maladies.
You've made clear to me how valuable these boots are.
And after acquiring them, you would have yet just one piece, the cuirass. Yes?
You are correct.
The breastplate. Maybe that is a tale for another day, or maybe you could tell me more of that, as I'm sadly ill-informed about it.
Let's leave that for another time. I do not need you to worry about the cuirass. What I am concerned about is the boots and your help in getting them for me. Glasia's help, don't they?
I have fear that I have pushed the boundaries of my diplomatic graces and all that I have done. You would do well to keep in mind that the summonings of Glacia might not be the kind that you would be amicable towards. She wanted to speak with you in her own domain.
I understand.
She might have held you as hostage until Robin was acquired.
Well, I'm not against acquiring what she desires, but I need the assurances that the boots will be made also available to me at that time.
I cannot give you any such assurance. It's all lost to the ethers, at least for the time being.
I see.
I don't know what more I can do. I've pushed as far and as delicately as I can without bursting any serpent eggs.
Well, perhaps then my only recourse for getting these boots is going straight to the Wandering King and taking them, or finding what he will bargain for.
Yes, but do not try to take them by force. That's foolish. You know that, Noxiqual.
It's the only one who I saw recently beat the Wandering King was Pox Marta in the Dream Realm. She completely struck him from her realm with her own powers and the powers of the Mer Queen.
Yes, that is her realm.
Mm-hmm.
You would be ill-fated if you went into his.
His realm. As I would if I went to Glasia's realm, no doubt.
No doubt.
But I wonder if perhaps I could arrange a meeting in my patron's realm. Perhaps such a powerful being as Glacia would be willing to negotiate with me there.
Your patron's realm, which is...
Oh, the Plane of Shadows, of course. The Shadowfell.
Be still, my black heart. You don't say.
Mm-hmm.
Well, doesn't that just make the puzzle pieces fit together nicely?
I'm sure you suspected something before I even said anything.
If only alliances could be made with such wandering kings. I would not trust it.
Well,
I would trust an alliance with demons over a Lord of Madness.
And is your duty to stand here and watch against him, I understand.
You could say that.
Yes.
As much as I loathe demons, I at least have a slight appreciation of their clarity. They don't typically have any complications in their goals. They want to destroy everything.
Let us cut through this for a minute here.
You can access the rune circle, and you can go into his realm, but
yes.
I fear, and I know you have heard this before, and many foolish people have told you, don't go there, you'll get yourself killed, it's far beyond you. I realize that, but I am telling you, this will be beyond you.
I understand. That is not my intent to make a foolish decision and try to justify it. I believe that the only solution to this is making a hard decision that I put off thing he wants. And if he will bargain with me, and Glacia wants something as well, perhaps there's a way that all can get what they want, including the boots for myself.
You're saying the Wandering King and Glacia both want this Robin fellow?
The Wandering King does not want Robin.
Oh?
The Wandering King wants something that Robin has.
Who is this Robin, and why does everyone want him?
Well, you know why Glasiah wants him.
But I've never met the lad myself. What
Yes, you
is
have.
it
Met him on my ship.
Yeah, Robin and him did meet.
with the spell? Yes, in the flesh. I mean, I've never met him. Is he really that beautiful? Is he just desired by all who gaze upon him?
I would say that he is perhaps better lucky than skilled, and one with luck can certainly find fortunes that all intersect with his destiny. It's interesting because what he has that the Wandering King wants is something that is probably worthless to you or Glasiah. So were it given to you, that might be something that perhaps a bargain could be made with Robin, and then in turn a bargain made between Glasiah and the Wandering King for what I want. I would feel much
I
better.
will be forthright
having
with you,
negotiated.
Noxiqual. We will make no bargains with Nyarlathotep,
Ah,
nor
all
any
right.
of the elder evils, elder gods, old ones from beyond, whatever title they're going to have.
So there's
That
no
is a line we
diplomacy.
do not cross.
Understood.
There is no trusting that which doesn't even have a basis in reality.
Then I need
Be very
an
careful.
army
Any
to.
deal that he has promised you, it must be some kind of trap.
Then I need a force which could take what I need by force from him.
What do you suggest?
Whether it be
We get together a squad and storm his realm?
if that's what it takes.
We know nothing
I know
about
that
it.
there are. What's that?
We know nothing about it.
Well, you've been here for a long time. I assume you have some knowledge of
I mean,
him.
I don't have a map of it. I don't understand the terrain. And are we going to walk across a field and out of nowhere it turns into sinkholes of giant worm maws, and there's no gravity, and suddenly there's no air? And
Yes, there's 1,000 things that could go wrong. But I know this. What I need is there. And whether or not it is a good idea or not, I will have what I came for. Now, only
you
thing.
adventurous sorts are a special breed. You have a certain mad audacity to you. It's as if your life truly wasn't really yours to lose.
Let me put it perhaps a different way. He is not the master necessarily of his realm. I've heard Pax Marta say something about him. He is the slave of Kebroseth, or what was it? There was a was it Caius?
Caius.
I couldn't hear you, Esper. Caius.
Caius.
He is the slave of Caius. Yep. And perhaps that.
This is too much for me. I think I need to lie down for a moment.
What's
That's
wrong?
better. Caius, the worm that walks in league with Nyarlathotep. I might as well just slit my throat and transport back to being a Lemure in the Nine Hells.
Are you that afraid of him?
Oh. By the burning gaze of the master. It was worms that were coming through. Oh dear. I don't feel so well, Noxiqual. Can I borrow your helmet?
No.
Okay, well, if you'll just excuse me for one moment. I think those eels were a bit off. I'm sorry.
Listen, if this changes matters, he's a threat to you in your position here as well. Would not this perhaps be something that Glasiah should know, since you did not?
Yes, it would be. Yes, very much so.
All right,
I'm
I can give you. I can give you some time to
fine.
report this.
I'm fine.
But I
I am
honestly
Abagor.
expected.
I am the master of this den. I'm going to speak with my mistress, and I'm going to tell her all that has been revealed. Horrible though it all is. Impossible though it all is.
Mhm.
Perhaps we
Well-
shall mount a campaign. What's the point of living forever if you're not having a bit of fun?
I assure you that
I might be
if-
destroyed, not just physically, but my entire soul scattered into oblivion or morphed and absorbed into the body of some great aberrant mastermind. But this could be worse, right?
I can say this, if this is something that you intend, the Stormbringers will also assist.
Would you come with us on this campaign rather than an assault against the Merqueen?
I would hope that it is not something that we would have to choose between, but this
I
is...
hope that I would start shitting gold pieces. That is not a reality. We don't
Well,
always
perhaps
get what we want, Noxiqual. You know that.
Perhaps when you elevate yourself to a pit fiend, you'll be able to wish that into existence.
I'm getting closer inch by inch, day by day.
Let's just say, this is why I came here. I did not come here and just want to have cake and pleasantries. I came here because I know you are capable and that you would be able to assist me with this matter. If not immediately, you would have means to draw upon, such as Glasiah.
Yes. Yes. Forgive my moment of dismay.
Well,
Perhaps I can.
we all have.
Perhaps I can help you see things a bit more clearly, Noxiqual.
Mm-hmm.
It's strange that I'm saying these words, but it might be all the better to let the Merqueen slumber. If she is destroyed, her mists will dissipate.
And the
If
realm,
her mists dissipate, do you know who will come and pay a visit here?
Oh, I do. The dragon god, correct?
Yes.
The
Mitra Sat
Reborn.
Seal will come, because we will be fully manifest in the material plane at that point. You'll be exchanging one master for another. Better the devil you know than the one you don't.
A good saying, aptly appropriate.
What has the Merqueen ever done that truly bothered you? I mean, until you started mucking around, fighting against her minions, you were living your life, reaping the fruits as you could around Breckengrim.
Well, apparently some of her minions have personal grudges against me and my crew. So there is that. And I think that
Because you kicked the hornet's nest. Perhaps you could parlay with her.
I would say that Ringolf Bracken's grudge goes far beyond lifetime of any member of my crew. It goes back many generations.
Ringolf Bracken. You'll have to enlighten me.
I'll enlighten you in a minute and all. But there was something I was going to say.
If Mitra comes here, all will be forced to bend the knee.
I was going to say Mitra has already started to send her. What is the name that he called himself? He is not the voice of Mitra Desantil. He is
Exarch, I think.
Herald. Exarch. That's what it is. Thank you, voice in my head.
Anji Hoshi. Yeah.
Her Exarch has already arrived with his group, who are even now putting back Illis the Lantern, I believe, together from the pieces he was shattered into.
Mhm.
I offer
I'll
all
go
this
you. I'll go
information.
you one further.
Yeah.
They strike against Garyon and Moloch as we speak.
Wow, that I don't know if Glasiah has any love for those, but they
She would certainly hate them less than the champions of this Mitra Satsil.
that makes sense.
Lines are being drawn. You'll have to pick some side.
Will we?
Are you going to pick the side of the dragon god and those that are slaying devils? Slaying. I don't mean destroying physically and sending them back to the nine hells. I mean the severing of essence eternally.
I understand. These are matters that we must discuss with my crew as well, for it
Yes.
affects all of them. But for now, before we end our little meeting here, as the hour draws late, as I'm sure you would agree, I think that Mitra Satsil will not be good for the lands of Drekengrim. The Mer Queen, while she is not good either, perhaps if we could turn her into a shield that is constantly resisting Mitra Satsil, she would not have any time to worry about nightmares and such on the people of Drekengrim.
You paint a rosy picture, Noxiqual. I can only hope that things would turn out so well.
Well, even if they don't, I can assure you that it's men like you and me that will hopefully be still standing here when the big powers have destroyed the other. The world still needs us, after all.
That it does. Well, you take your time to consult with your companions, and I will have to do some consulting with my betters, and you're free to stay here while you do so. I will be back as soon as I can. Your men are trustworthy, I take it?
Yes. Keep an eye on Carderock, but yes.
I take your word, vouching for them.
Mhm.
Very well. Let's conclude our dinner, and then I will make the arrangements to go speak with those whom I am eternally indebted.
Indeed. And I will make my own arrangements because, one, depending on what your people have to say, I may need quickly on our side.
Very well. We shall speak again very soon.
Until
All right,
then.
so just a quick summary to wrap things up here. Abigor is going to have a consultation in Malbolgia of the Nine Hells, and he'll come back soon, or probably the next day, and have like an initial offer. And you all might have to pick some sort of side here.
Yep.
Or you'll at least have to make a decision as to where you're going and who are your allies.
Correct. And what this does is it lets you clearly present some options and prepare things for next session.
All right, everyone. Thank you very much for playing, and everyone who watched, thank you for watching and listening. Look forward to the next one. Things continue to get thicker and intenser.
Yes, indeed.
And Kobe's got another notch in his headboard. Good
Not
night,
just
everybody.
a knot,
Bye, everyone.
it felt like a whole. All right.